the New Yorker article about you.
No.
This is a direct quote. This métier has been defined in part by Adam Scott's physical appearance, which straddles the line between hunky and nondescript, medium height, slightly hangdog eyes, thick chestnut hair that juts like a cockatiel's crest. So is that how you describe yourself?
100%. Look,
that's my.
She nailed it.
That's my country club, Cockatiel's Crest.
That's right.
Yeah, New Yorker's good at doing descriptions of actors. When they did a story of me years ago, the guy spent like 2 paragraphs on like the right side of my face versus the left side of my face.
Really?
Yeah,
New Yorker piece, which I loved, but it points out that you don't like being called great. Or you have a hard time when people are like, you're great.
I don't want anyone to think that I think I'm great,
Right.
Which is, I've been in it for a long time, but also grew up watching actors and stuff, and actors getting actory and humble bragging about, oh yeah, no, I'm so grateful. All that stuff. It's all very kind of, I just don't want to fall into the trap of anyone thinking that I think I'm great, and I want to assure anyone who cares that I don't.
but still, you won't allow eye contact with anyone on set.
That's true. That's true.
For me, that I just don't.
But that's a whole separate thing.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this. Ben had considered me for a role in the series early on.
Uh-huh.
Ben, do you have any regrets with the casting?
I had talked to Mike about playing Rickon.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, you would have been a great Rickon.
Great.
But the actor's great also.
It's great. Michael
Yeah.
Chernus.
He's great.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes, I do, Mike. I do regret it. Sitting here now with you on your podcast, I definitely regret it. But Mike, I feel like a little kinship with you because there's that thing of being an actor and being a director and a writer and creating your own stuff. And sometimes the way people in the business like look at you probably is like, well, Mike's doing his thing. Mike does his own movies. Mike does his stand-up. Mike does his podcast. Mike creates his own stuff. Do you feel that?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. And it's like a weird thing where sort of like it just sort of like crosses over into, oh yeah, Mike Birbiglia could do that. It's like, but Mike is like, would Mike do that? Is Mike doing his own thing? That whole,
right.
And I feel like I've experienced that too. And I'm not saying that that's an excuse for why you're not playing Rickon. We did go down the road on it though, so I will take responsibility.
We
for that.
did.
Yeah.
And interesting in that New Yorker article, you were pointing out that you had to audition after Ben was like, so you got it.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm not as in charge as I thought I was.
That's right. That's right.
So basically, Ben, and interestingly, one of the things that you said in that piece about Adam in the New Yorker was you were like, because you guys have ended up becoming collaborators and not just an actor-director relationship. You're a producer on the show, and you were like, so much of collaboration is like really having the same taste or similar taste. And do you guys ever disagree on what is not severance enough or too severance or exactly severance?
I feel like we're pretty much in sync.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah. And I also am smart enough to follow Ben's lead because, when we started in season 1 and there was nothing, one of the most satisfying things about making stuff is just at a very base level where there was nothing, there is now something that you and your collaborators made. That's super fun. But so when we started, there was nothing except this weird set and Ben just sort of being like, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's this. And it was like a brand new weird thing. And we were all like, okay, let's try that. And we kind of eventually all were like, oh yeah, okay, this is this is fun, this feels weird, and kind of found it together. But I got to sort of really see how Ben's always seeing the whole grid at all times, right? Like everything is being looked after.
Yeah.
Because for me, sometimes I get caught up in my head if I'm working on something and it's like, okay, well, if I'll do that for you, but not trusting is the audience going to be aware that we're going at this certain speed up the hill? And does it make sense for people to be chasing us if we're doing this and for me to be reacting? And sometimes when you kind of start bringing those things up, you get the sense that whoever's in charge hasn't even considered any of this before. And so that's what I get in my head about as an actor sometimes. If I'm like, okay, if you want me to do that, all these other things need to make sense. With Ben, it's all been worked out and make sense. So yes, we're aligned, but I also know if we're at a fork in the road, I can totally trust going down his way.
I read that you got a concussion.
Yeah.
And that it's on film.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten to that part of the season yet.
Yeah, I can't.
You can't say
how because it would spoil something. But yeah.
That's such a classic thing where I'm sure you've had this over the years where when someone gets injured on a set, it's just like, did we get it?
Oh, he came up to me pretty quickly after it happened and was like, dude, it looks great.
You're going to love this.
That was amazing. How many fingers am I holding?
Yeah.
What's your birthday?
That's right.
What's your birthday? This is going to be a great episode.
Tell me your name.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, when something like that happens, it's awful because it's happened and you can't,
Oh, it's awful, yeah.
It's like once it happens, and we can't really talk about it, how it happened. But, yeah.
I thought of it the other day because I'm watching Night at the Museum for the first time when it came out.
Be honest, it's your 20th time. Come on, Mike.
It wasn't my age group.
Yeah,
when it
Mike
came
says,
out.
He told me earlier because I watched Night at the Museum. I'm sorry, I just watched it for the first time because when it came out, I wasn't quite. I'm like, yeah, it's not your demo. I get it.
Yeah,
you're not like a single
Don't
guy.
worry.
Watch Night at the Museum.
I was 26
when it
years
came out.
old,
Right.
single in New York City, kicking back, watching Night at the Museum.
Not gonna go to the matinee by
date
yourself.
night.
My daughter's 9 and we're watching it. And of course, you guys know, now we've watched it 6 or 7 times.
Sure.
Like I know like all the frames. But like one of the things I noticed is like you like hop over the museum like desk in it.
Yeah, like when I'm running
Ben
from the
can
dinosaur.
do that?
Yeah.
And I said Ben could do that in 2006.
Ben
Right.
could.
Right.
Honestly, you made me think because we just did this little pickleball movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have like a 2-day part in it.
Yeah.
And we were producing it, and my character, like, is it's a ridiculous movie, and like characters like running away in a scene, like, and there was like at a tennis club, and there was like a fence or like a railing, right? And I was like, oh. I'll do the thing where I push off and I like flip my legs over.
Yeah.
I swear. The first take, I like barely cleared it, but then like hurt my ankle when I dropped over. And then there's like director's like, great, we missed it. I think we do get it. Do it a couple more times. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
There's not. And literally in the movie, it's me jumping up. My feet land on top of the railing, and then I go. I do it in 2 steps. So it's funny. It's like,
No, I was so impressed. He fully clears it. It's like the museum desk, and he clears it.
we were young and bold.
That
and
that
excited.
desk is quite high.
I will say, like, I hadn't seen those movies. You and I have been friends for like almost
A long
15
time,
years. Yeah, and like, is it ever, Adam, intimidating working with Ben, knowing like he kind of can do anything? Like, I apologize for like complimenting you so hard, but it's like, it's a little much.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, and he can act, and he can direct, and he can write. It's like kind of a lot.
Yeah, no, and I've told Ben many times I was one of the people on Sunday nights in the early 90s getting high and watching the Ben Stiller show. I mean, and then
one of the people.
Yeah, one of the
You were on
people.
the roster.
That's right.
There were not a lot of people.
And then Reality Bites, I was there.
Oh my God.
That was a huge deal.
Yeah.
And still, when I watch that movie, it feels it's really resonant. Have you watched it in the past few years?
I think I watched it with Ella, my daughter, like 3 years ago.
I'm so
There's a
curious.
completely
what Ella thought.
ridiculous interview with Ben recently at the New York Times where the interviewer was like, Reality Bites isn't really resonant today.
didn't
And Ben's like, it
understand
kind of
that.
is actually.
I think it was that Gen X's fear of selling out, he didn't understand.
Right.
it or something.
That everybody's selling. I think that was his take, that everybody's selling out now, or like that like with Instagram and social media. But I mean, honestly, like what I found about it, it's just like my daughter's, just graduating from college, and it's that period. And I remember that period of time in my life when it was like, what do you do? How do you become a person?
Of course.
Yeah, and I think that the Generation X kind of phobia of selling out, I think that's probably where that comes from at the beginning of the show when you're asking me about my fear of thinking that people might think that I think I'm great.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's kind of the vestiges of that might be in, because when I watch Reality Bites, I so connect with sitting around with like Brady Bunch trivia and smoking cigarettes, and it was kind of it's specific to the time, but also the kind of disposition of I don't want to, dangle my foot out there and make anyone think that I'm going to sell out even for a second. It was a really strong position with all of us back then, or with some of us. I
No,
guess.
completely.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is that in that final episode when Helly shows up as her innie self in the Audi world, and she sees like at the expo, it's like all these videos of her being like, it's great to have an innie life and an Audi life and all this stuff, but it's like she doesn't agree with it. And I was thinking, like, do you relate to that in relation to, because you've been like a blockbuster movie star. Have you ever been in a situation where it's like there's like posters of you in Times Square or things like that where you're like, oh, this feels so odd because I'm me, and that's that.
Yeah. It's more when you guys will have a conversation, it's like, oh, Ben's, you've done this or that, and say these things that I've done.
Right, about Museum
but like,
that.
yeah, and I'm like so grateful for all of it that it's happened. But also there is a big part of me that's like, okay, I guess that happened, and I know it's there because people come up to me.
Happened.
No, but
that's so in the Audi, by the way.
it is,
Yeah.
and it's like there, but for the grace of God, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's just like a lot of it is luck, and I've. By the way, a lot of people have written about that too.
Sure.
It's
right.
like
Right. I've written about that critically.
But it's like
sure.
whatever it is, it's like the thing that always gets me in a positive way that does surprise me is when people come up to me. People, when I see them on the street or whatever, they recognize me, human beings, come up and say something to me about something they saw, and they're genuinely like, I really like that. I really appreciate that. Or, this woman came up to me yesterday. We were doing this town hall thing, and she said, my husband and I went to see Reality Bites on our first date, and we're still married, and this is whatever, how many years ago. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. That's a thing in their relationship that they have, and I appreciate that so much. And that's it's not like it's surprising, like, but it's something that I always take in, and that resonates with me more than like seeing a picture on a thing or whatever, because that's just whatever. It's weird,
Yeah, it's weird. Like I my relationship with you is like you were kind enough to tweet about Sleepwalk with me in 2012 when it was at Sundance, and then we got in touch, and then you made the cameo in Don't Think Twice, and it was like, there was a period of time where I had to make the leap from that you are this iconic movie star film director to no, you're Ben. And you're a person, and you're supportive of our other artists. Like, Adam, have you had did you have a leap with Ben where he went from the public him to him?
Yeah, because like going from what I was talking about earlier, from like being into the Ben Stiller show and Reality Bites, and then seeing and flirting with disaster, and then seeing Ben become this giant star, having already been a fan when he was like his MTV show and then the Fox show.
Sure.
And seeing him become this giant movie star, and always kind of feeling, having never met the person, always feeling like, oh yeah, that's a legit like artist. That's like one of us that's up there like doing cool shit on a grand scale. And then actually getting to like meet him and work on Walter Mitty. That's where we kind of got to know each other a little bit. And actually getting to watch Ben direct that giant movie.
But what I wonder, Adam, is like why you still won't let me make eye contact with you on set.
That is weird.
Or anybody else on the set.
Again, that's a separate thing.
It's not separate though. I feel like you're trying to
but I feel like
separate these
maybe
two things.
or maybe you're trying to somehow, like, is it a tactic or something?
Listen,
like,
I'm just trying to focus on the things I need to focus on,
Okay.
and eye contact with you isn't one of them.
I
Do
just
you know
think
what I
it's
mean, Mike?
weird
But
that,
what-
like, you won't look at our producers and
Right.
our camera people
I know they're there.
or sound recordists.
I understand they're all there.
Yeah, well,
fine.
they also know they can't look at you, and that's,
Which is great. Great for them. They can spend their
Yeah.
time doing something else.
You were you pulled up in a car,
Yeah.
you were put in a box.
Yeah.
The box was carried up
That's
the
right.
steps.
But seriously, when he did pull up, he got out in like this camel hair coat, sunglasses from like literally like you were your character from The Aviator or something. It was like a scarf, a silk scarf.
what is that with the aviator in
Aviator
you? Ever since you
sunglasses
did
from the
the
30s.
aviator, you've enveloped this character.
That's right. Listen, I think there's a little Hughes in all of us, and I just like to wear it on the outside.
Adam just mocks us with his hair every day.
So when you were in Party Down and no one watched it,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
I'm just laughing. I was laughing because there's that article where it was like it received a 0.0. It's like an iconic show. It's like the Ben Stiller show. It's like iconic show that like is beloved by comedians. It
did.
What is a 0.0?
What ended up being our series finale, we were like, okay, maybe finally people are watching, because we had a little critical support at that point. And I remember John Embaum getting the ratings and telling us we got a 0.0. And it actually equaled out to 13,000 viewers,
That's amazing.
which is 0.0, I guess.
13,000.
13,000.
Like
They're
you
just-
could get them
they just-
together at a stadium.
Oh,
They
half
didn't-
a stadium.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't give you the full answer. It was 0.000000001.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
how
know.
many zeros would have. Yeah.
They needed to. Maybe we got off the call too quickly, and they were just reading out.
When
the
you
zeros.
found that out, did you feel good about yourself or bad?
Great.
I wonder what cross section we're watching the Ben Stiller show.
That's it. I
back
bet
when we
all
were
of
on.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's the
bet
same people.
every
They
single
were all
one.
10 years old.
That's right.
And
during Adam's school, when you were in school, you briefly tried to use the surname Quardero.
That's right. Cordero. I remember.
Adam
I remember.
Cordero.
I remember being in the library at the acting school I was at, writing Pacino, De Niro, Cordero, and just like looking at them and being
God.
like, yeah, I think this is it. I think this is what I'm gonna do.
Adam Cordero.
Because my mother's
Sicilian
maiden
name, yeah.
was Quartararo. And I was
Okay.
like, that's too long.
much. Yeah. Yeah.
It's I had that when I was in college. I mean, when I was in college, I convinced Jim Gaffigan to have lunch with me, and I asked him for advice.
Yeah.
You know, he was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I go, "Do you have any last advice?" He goes, "You got to change that name.
Very
You gotta
good, Jim
change that
Gaffigan.
last name.
Yeah, that's a very
You
good
gotta
Jim
change that
Gaffigan.
last name." I was just like, I went back to my college, and I said to my professor, I go, "What do you think should I change
Yeah.
my name?" And he goes, maybe make it a little more Irish and Italian. Call yourself Mickey Birbiglia. So for a period of time, I was writing out my signature as Mickey Birbiglia.
The comedy stylings of Mickey Birbiglia.
Mickey Biggs.
What if it was Mickey Birbiglia and Adam Cordero starring?
Could have been sitting here.
Yeah, starring in Severance.
Mickey and Cordero.
Didn't get that part. Mickey
Were
didn't
you?
get that part.
Was that in your
no.
Spike Lee phase where you had your goatee and your Knicks hat?
I was already at this point. I think Malcolm X was out, so I had my X hat.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is there anything, Ben? Do you have anything as embarrassing as Adam Cordero?
No, Mike, I never took myself seriously.
Right. No,
or
of course not.
thought that I was, like cool. Yeah, no.
No, you did. You did. We all saw it. It was in the 1990s. It was on television.
But it's not on. You can't find that anywhere on
No,
YouTube or anything.
it's readily
like that.
available.
Okay.
No, you.
Because every talk show appearance, I was incredibly humble. Well,
Well, I think
spoken
you and I have something in common, which is, both. I think we were both very ambitious as young people.
Totally.
And
Yeah, I've heard you talk about it too.
Yes.
On the podcast with
well,
friends.
I'm embarrassed when I look back at myself in my 20s and I'm like, I was so like absurdly ambitious. And now I'm quietly ambitious. It's very subtle.
Yeah, sure. Me too. I mean, it's crazy to go look back at that. I see myself doing stuff. I'm going like, it's so cringy to me. There's like B-roll footage of me on the set of Reality Bites where they came and like did some behind the scenes, and I'm like walking around like 6 or 27, and I'm like going, yeah, that's a grip, and like he gets stuff. Hey, what are you guys up to? All right. Oh yeah, here's the sound man. Your arms get tired holding that thing.
Oh my God.
And I'm like wearing like a denim shirt and jeans, like a denim on with beads. It's just ridiculous.
Oh man.
When you work with like Noah and Wes, do you feel like you're still learning things about directing when you're working with other directors?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like that's when I learned the most, because it's so interesting to see you work with you, see how you do it. Yeah, what is your process? Every director's process is different, and it's subjective because directing is subjective. So it should be different. It should be your own point of view. But you can pick up things and you go, oh, that's great. I mean, like no Obama, no chairs on the set.
Right.
Right?
No chairs.
No chairs. I was doing Greenberg, and I think it was like 10 days into shooting, and one day I'm like, where's the chairs? And like, oh my God, there's no chairs here. And that's his choice because he doesn't want to have people sitting around. And guess what? People find a place to sit down somewhere on the set.
That's interesting.
They find like an apple box.
I think we did that. You did that on Walter Mitty. Maybe.
I did.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I'll take something like that.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? That's a good idea.
Yeah.
No chairs. It keeps everybody more.
I read that about Greta on Greta Gerwig on Barbie. No phones.
Oh, no
yeah.
phones.
That's
Definitely no
great.
phones.
No phones is great.
No phones.
Oh, yeah.
and
We had no phones
And
on
crew
Building Fights.
have to use phones sometimes to communicate.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like no phones anywhere
no
near.
phone severance?
No phones anywhere near the eye shot of the actors at all.
Yeah, the
Right.
phones
To me,
were cordoned off.
My least favorite thing is to see like a dolly grip guy, like hunched down while an actor is like acting their brains out, and he's like just scrolling or whatever. And by the way, it's fine because he's being respectful of like not But if I see the actor can't see it, but when I see it, it drives me crazy.
Oh, it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, the actors can see it.
No, the actors
like
can see it.
I can see it in the
Right.
corner of my eye if someone.
Yeah, and
But
actors,
also-
it's such a vulnerable thing when you're doing it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So as a director, you want to protect that environment for the actors. But by the way, you also have to be respectful of the crew too. That's the thing I didn't know back in Reality Bites days. I was just like all about the actors, and I was like, making jokes about the crew, like, hey, that guy. But then I realized, oh my God, these people are actually working really hard, and you have to figure out how to motivate them. To want to be on the team, because they haven't been with the script that you've been writing for 5 years. They just came on last week. So how can you? It's on you as a director to actually figure out a way to like get everybody on board. Like, hey, we want to try to do something here that might be a little different, and these are the things we're going for.
Chris Walken's on the show, and he's great. And I saw him in an interview where he's like, I don't like cut, I don't like action, and I don't like cut. Do you do action and cut?
Noah doesn't. By the way, Noah Baumbach doesn't do action.
Doesn't do action and cut.
What does he do?
But
he does begin or
begin. That's a nice one.
yeah, or it depends. Sometimes you have to say something like action to like cue the film, the dolly grip or somebody
Right.
to move the camera or whatever.
Go.
And people don't know when it's starting. But if it's a scene where people are standing around or sitting at a table or something, you can just let the camera roll and just go, hey, whenever you're
Whenever
ready.
you're ready, yeah.
I don't like action as an actor because
Yeah.
it's, it is that thing of like, oh, okay, what am I supposed to do? I should do something, when really you just want to just be. And cut, Jessica Lee Gagne, a cinematographer I work with, we were doing Escape at Dannemora one day, and she's like, you say cut like too soon. She said to me one day. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
"What?" Like, yeah, just like let it roll a little. She's great. She's directed one of the episodes this season, and she's a very good director too.
Excellent.
But I was like, yeah, and it was really interesting. So I started like taking more time before I said cut, and it's so interesting what the actors do. 'Cause,
Yeah.
because they keep going.
Christopher Walken, of course, is a legend. It's like
He's the best ever.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
At this point, do you have any actors who you direct where you're? Because if I were directing Chris Walken, I'd be so intimidated. Do you anyone you're intimidated by when you're directing them?
Yeah, I have natural sort of intimidation that I feel. I mean, with Chris, I feel it. And he's the sweetest guy in the world. And I've known him. I did a movie with him. I did my first play with him, 1986, The House of Blue Leaves.
Oh, my gosh.
He was in it, and I had a part. And he knew my folks, and still intimidated by him because he's Chris Walken. And also I don't know, he's an actor. It's hard. You don't really want to say too much from my point of view. It's like,
that's how I feel.
you want to let him do his thing, and then think if there's something that you can offer up that can somehow help, and it's usually something like maybe like, hey, maybe you want to take a little more time with this, or I thought that was great what you did when, is there a different direction to go here? Maybe, or, something like that.
He's so great, obviously, but he's so lived in as far as the role goes and who he is, and he's so relaxed that it is impossible to differentiate between life and what he's doing on camera. It's so seamless and real. It's extraordinary just to be there watching what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just
full relaxation.
fully, and it's just all 100% there. It's really something to see.
What are your criticisms of Ben as a director?
Well, how long?
I heard you say that.
No, I know.
No, you tried to say it where only Adam would hear
just
you.
Just imagine it's just me and Adam right now, and you're watching this on television.
What are your criticisms of Ben as a director?
Ben,
Mike,
You thought
Mickey,
somehow that would miss me.
No, I just thought, like, let's open it up a little bit. Let's get real.
I appreciate the
first
question.
First half of the interview
So
is
the
kind of
fluffy,
like
the
friendly,
fluffy part.
friendly.
What is left for you to explore?
Yeah, what's left?
What
Ben,
else is
what's
there
left
for you to
before
do?
you die?
I
And
get
then
how you do
Adam,
it.
what do you hate about Ben?
I mean,
This is how Birbiglia does it.
It's the Birbiglia twist.
It's not the gotcha interview. It's the got Ben interview. All right, go ahead.
oh man. Listen,
You can be totally honest.
we have we have enough time, right? Like we can really go.
We can do 10 minutes on it.
Seriously, what else?
You know, there's he's always trying to trick us, like
Right.
trick us into
Sure.
performances, and then playing mind games with
Mind
the
games,
actors
yeah,
off
sure.
off camera,
Sure, I've
like
heard that.
Michael Douglas and Oliver Stone, like that kind of shit, like diabolical.
In Wall
Oh
Street,
my
yeah,
god,
sure.
just frightening all I us into performances.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You did, you have to, in the first, I think it's the first episode of the whole series, you have to deal with your wife's death.
Yeah.
Characters. And you were directing through a headset. And you had to, right? Because you weren't,
Yeah, I was
There.
like on a walkie-talkie that he had in the car. Yeah.
he had to be like, I think the line was like, just like, open yourself up or something like that.
Yeah, I think we had done a few takes, a couple takes where I was crying in the car, and And, I had lost my mom about 7 months or so before we were shooting the show, 6 months. And so I was really sort of still processing her death, and I was with my family during lockdown when she died. And so I was really kind of protected and with my wife and kids. And so they really kind of cushioned the blow. But then when I got out here to shoot the show, I was by myself and realized I had a lot of grieving to do and a lot of processing to do. And all I had was the show.
Yeah.
So I was like, why not, maybe I can do some of that processing here. And so for that scene, we had both kind of lost a parent in recent times. It was 5 years ago. So I think there was a sort of unsaid connection there. And so after a couple takes, Ben was just like, really feel free to open yourself up and just let it all out. Like, really feel it. And like no one's watching, just let go. And so I did, and it felt incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly. And he was kind of saying stuff over the walkie that was helpful, and it was great. It was I was really glad we did it.
I told him a PA was making eye contact with him.
Yeah.
And that's what
And that really gets me every time.
Gets me.
Every time.
No, he was amazing. He was like amazing. And that's when, as an actor, you're totally on your own.
Yeah.
You're totally on your own. And all you can do as a director is try to like empathize and give space to, I'm not saying holding space.
Holding
just,
space, yes.
Just like
holding space.
hold space. But really, honestly, it's like you gotta just like, this is crazy stuff to have to do, right? There's no, like, how do you access that? So all you can do is just try to give them a place where they go, you know what, just go, take your time and just allow them a safe place to do it.
I think that's one of the things you don't realize when you're sometimes watching something. It's like, it's like for that actor who's, in that case, Adam on screen in close up or whatever it is, like, they're experiencing in real time the most personal thing. And it's so deeply vulnerable.
It's so vulnerable, yet it's what we all as an audience crave.
It's what we crave
and need. And so it's mystical, it's a mystery, it's, so I was just grateful that he was so available and there. And that really was another moment for me when I was like, this is what the show is it has to have this level of, of reality. And I was just grateful for Adam. And then after that, I was like, Adam is like, this guy's like really good.
That's
I mean, I knew it. No, I knew, I knew it.
And I was
he's
like,
really good.
Ben, don't look at me.
No, I wasn't allowed to talk to him at that point, but still.
The Adam, what actor has broken you the most laughing in a scene? Because I was watching this and I was like, oh, everyone's really funny, and everyone on Parks and Rec is really funny.
Yeah.
Do you break in scenes?
Yeah, I break. But I'm also, sometimes I'm like stoned.
I'm sorry. This guy.
Do I not break?
This is an acting machine.
Is that right?
Yes. Technical acting machine guy who doesn't break. Well, you will break before he breaks every time.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess,
that's true,
maybe
right?
so.
I mean, I don't know from previous things, but just from having watched.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of, when I broke the most was when I did a tiny role in Knocked Up, and I've never been on a, this is the first time I was on a set where Judd was like, say that, and like calling out lines, and takes would go on for 20 minutes and all this. I was like, what the this is great, but what is going on?
What is going on?
And Ken Jeong, who had never really been on camera before, was there, and he did this run where he just went and me and Seth are on camera with him, and I'm supposed to just stand there next to Ken and just stone-faced. I was a nurse.
Yeah.
And Seth was on the other side of him, and Ken just went off, and I saw Seth, like, I could only see the back of him, and I saw him, like, going like this.
Trying not
and
to
so
laugh.
I was like, oh, good.
Like shaking a little bit.
He's laughing, so I can laugh. And so I just fully broke a few times. And then watching the scene months later when it was on YouTube or something, I see that Seth is not breaking. He's just like contorting his face so he doesn't break.
Okay.
And I'm standing on the other side just laughing. So,
But what about like on Step Brothers?
oh yeah. Yeah, we would break all the time. on Step Brothers.
Would you ever crack yourself up?
I was, you know what? I was so freaked out and nervous on Step Brothers that I probably didn't break that much because I was so worried
But in
about
that dinner table scene,
Yeah.
they're breaking up happening.
Yeah.
Ben, when what advice would you, because you're on both sides of the casting table, what advice would you give for actors auditioning?
Know that they want you to get the job almost as much as you want to get the job.
Yeah.
They're looking for the right person. So
Right. Their job is actually to find someone who's great for
when
this.
you find the right person as a director or writer, you're so happy. You're so happy that that person came in and they were the right person. And know that it's so many different factors that don't have to do with your acting talent. And that's the big thing, I'd say, because auditioning is hard.
Yeah.
And you just have to kind of keep doing it too. It's one of those things, I think, that you literally get better and better as the more you do it, because you have more experience, you get used to the situations more, you start to relax more.
Yeah.
My daughter just got a job in an off-Broadway play, her first play.
That's awesome.
And she said she had this moment in the audition where she was like, "Oh," I was like, I'm relaxed. I'm in this. I feel
her, man.
I feel okay here. I feel free to just do my thing.
This is called a slow round. What's the best piece of advice someone's given you that you used?
Early, the first episode of Party Down we shot, I got good advice from Fred Savage, who was directing the episode. Because up until then I had like smaller roles, supporting roles, and it's really hard playing small roles and things because you're trying to. The bad habit I was in was trying to stuff so much into whatever time I had just to show that I had all these ideas and whatever. And we started shooting Party Down, and I was in a scene with Lizzie Kaplan where we meet each other and kind of start flirting. And after a take, he was like, "Hey, you can relax. Like, you've got a lot of time. We've got all these episodes. You're going to be, we'll watch you take this whole journey, and then you're meeting Lizzie's character. Just talk to her. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it."
Oh, that's nice.
Can I just that made me think of when I was in a movie with Andrew McCarthy in 1986. One of the first jobs I had, and he'd done a lot of movies. We were in a scene in a car. We were like best friends, and we just had an argument. And the scene was me just dropping him off in my car, and he got out. There's no dialogue. And I remember he just turned to me and said, like, we really don't have to do anything here because the scene just happened, the big fight, and the audience will fill it in. And I was very similar to you at that point in my career where I was doing a lot, trying to be funny and like, and he was, and I think he probably was picking up on that. He was like, "Hey man, we can just like be," and he was so right, because the audience will fill it in.
It's so true. The audience does a lot.
Can you think of a time when you were so scared you ran away?
First thought that comes to my mind is when I was on the plane going to camp when I was about 10 years old and got scared that I didn't want to go to Maine. I was in New York, and somehow convinced the Delta Airlines flight crew to turn the plane around on the tarmac and go back to the gate to drop me off.
That's outrageous.
And did they?
Yep.
They have to. When
They did.
You were just terrified to fly at all?
No, I didn't. I got homesick.
Oh, okay.
I had second thoughts about the whole thing. So
What did the other passengers? How they feel about that?
it's pretty funny because I was on. So we had a housekeeper named Hazel, a Jamaican housekeeper who was part of our family, and she had 7 of her own kids, and she lived in Brooklyn, and we lived in Manhattan, and she would come stay with us 5 days a week, and her kids were on their own for they should go home on the weekends, but they became like brothers and sisters to us too. And Lincoln, her son, was with me. My parents were sending Lincoln and me to camp together. And he lived in Brooklyn. He didn't get a chance to get out of the city. It was an exciting thing for him. And he was so into it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I'm there, his
Poor
seatmate,
Lincoln in
and
the
I'm like,
story.
and I like, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, basically, I'm like, every man for himself, Lincoln. And I'm like,
Bye-bye.
we're turning this thing around. So we turn the plane around. My mother is at the gate, really not happy with me when
sure.
the gate opens and I come running out. And Lincoln stayed on because he was, excited to go to camp.
Yeah.
And the plane took off without me. And
What, did you flag down a flight attendant, or did you like run up to the front?
yeah, I think I must have run up to the front.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I kind of have blocked it out, but it was definitely
That's
a
what this
thing.
show's all about.
I was
Thank
on
you.
about to take off on a flight with my son when he was probably 9 or 10, and we were like on the tarmac, and he suddenly was like, made a decision that this whole flying thing is bullshit, and he does not want to participate and be on a plane, and I had to ask them to turn around and bring
You
us
have to do
back.
the same thing?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Wow.
My God.
A man after
Yeah.
my
I didn't
own
even know
heart.
this was an option.
That's right.
wanna
I know.
talk to
The
him.
Oh,
turnaround, the plane on the tarmac
listen,
What?
anytime you want,
This is
change your
pre-9/11.
mind, you go back.
Jeez. Okay. Who are you jealous of?
Like right now?
Yeah.
I mean, Adam Scott.
Other than Adam Scott.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
said.
Because I really am jealous of Adam Scott. Okay.
Are you jealous of each other?
Sure.
I'm definitely jealous of you.
Sure.
I think it's a kind of a healthy. I feel like it's a healthy jealousy, right?
You know what I'm jealous of with Ben is, you were talking about earlier about ambition stuff, the work ethic, because we talk all the time and we're always like talking about like the show and stuff, and I'm like, when I get a break from work, I'm always like, okay, I think I can squeeze in a Survivor episode or like Real Housewives. I'm just always like shutting my brain off but Ben's always like, yeah, I was just editing and I'm hopping on a call right now.
That's
And
really
I've got,
funny.
and then I have a meeting for this thing. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Okay. Holy shit. So that just that work ethic is, I'm a busy person, but really filling the day up is something that I feel like my mind is too like chaotic to even organize it.
I was thinking about this with the show. It's like it's a weird irony that it's on Apple, right? Isn't it?
I think it's kind of a-
It's like
kind of-
Apple
I
like
kind of-
would do the thing that happens on the show in 10 years from now.
I look at it as synchronicity.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I think. I mean, look, whatever you want to like, sort of like what your interpretation of what that means. Like, it's like
Yeah.
these big corporations, but the Apple aesthetic,
Yeah. No, I know.
all of that, it just kind of, to me, like fits with the show, fits with Apple, Apple TV Plus. Like it's, and that doesn't mean, anything other than it just does. to
Are
me.
they ever like, so how do you do it? How does it work? How can we do it?
They're not a med tech company.
We'd like to do it. We'd like to do this to people.
I wish the audience could see the look you're giving as
they
you're
will on YouTube.
portraying the Apple
What are they?
executive.
How do you do it? How do you do it?
Okay, now it's shifting.
Now they're Norwegian.
Now it's turning into something
This
else.
could be the character that we do on
they do.
Severance.
That's
This could
right.
be-
There it is.
Jesus. Ben's gonna have me read for 10 other roles
That's
and
right.
not give me those roles also. Someday.
He's looking forward to it.
Someday.
I told you it took me 3 years before I got a part. So hurt people.
Ben Ben just keeps saying, you have to relax, Mike. Just like I said on Working It Out.
I
you have to
said-
relax in the
Time.
audition.
Mike, I said I'm on your side. I'm rooting for you. Now do it again.
I do it again. I do it right this time. Do it funny.
Everyone wants you to get it right.
Okay. Thank
do
you
it
very
funny.
much.
Do it real. That's what he keeps saying to me over and
Do
over
it
again.
real.
And then after I leave the audition, he texts me, no, do it real this time.
Right now, do it real, wherever you are.
Oh, God. While we're being critical, I think you both are too handsome to be comedians.
I think Adam Scott is for sure.
I don't think anyone would accuse me of being a comedian.
I think
We talk about that a
this
lot.
this métier has been defined by Scott's physical appearance, which straddles the line between honky and nondescript. Hangdog eyes, thick chestnut hair, and a cockatiel crest. So the last thing we do is Working It Out for a cause. Is there a nonprofit that you guys would like to contribute to? We will contribute and link to them in the show notes.
Yeah, the Center for Reproductive Rights.
Great. I will contribute to them. I will link to them
Thank
in
you.
the show notes. And thank you both for making this brilliant
Sorry,
show.
I wasn't speaking for both. I was
No,
was just-
I don't really support any of these things.
Well, I'm sure, Ben, I would guess that you would be something with refugees because you do so much international refugee work.
UNHCR, UN Refugee Agency, for sure. Especially right now with everything that's going on in the
Yes.
world and just the attitude towards people who are stateless.
One of the many things I admire about you is all the work that you do.
Thanks.
Because you are one of the people who shows up and does the work with that and travels the
man.
world and shows up for people who are struggling like that. And So
I'm on the fence.
on which thing?
Ben's work with that.
His nonprofit.
Yeah.
Doesn't
where
think
he
it's
travels
genuine.
the
You don't
globe.
think it's
No,
a
I-
refugees?
refugees?
It might be great. I just haven't done the research, so I'm.
What do you mean you haven't
holding
done the
an opinion.
research?
I just haven't looked into
We've
it.
seen the videos of him in these
I haven't seen all the videos.
You need to see the raw footage to believe it's
I need
real.
to see everything.
You were talking about that jealousy thing before.
Yeah.
It's like
Not jealous. Just haven't seen the footage.
You know, Ben does things that are selfless.
Ben does a lot of things.
What does that mean? What do you mean he
Take
does?
what you want from that.
No,
I'm just saying he does a lot of
saying-
things.
No, I'm saying to you, Ben does a lot of nonprofit work for people other than Ben Stiller and Adam Scott. And what do you do?
I keep an eye on what Ben's doing.
Adam-
And I'm telling you.
for profit, Scott.
Oh,
That's
for
right.
For profit.
do you-
I like
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase.
cash money.
Let me rephrase the question. Are there any for-profit businesses that you guys like to support that we'll link to in the show
Yeah.
notes?
Okay. Where's the camera? Which camera
Go
is
to
mine?
this one
Okay.
right here,
okay.
right down the barrel.
Listen, everybody.
Go to
We
AdamScott.com.
got AdamScott.com. We got all kind. We got some sunglasses, camel hair coats. We got all kinds of shit.
Cockatoos for sale?
Cockatoos.
Oh, the
Cockatoos crest. You'll find it there.
The Cockatiel's crest sweatshirts are really nice.
Great, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. You put the hood up and it has this swoop. It's great.
Adam Scott, Ben Stiller, thank you for being you.
Thanks,
being
Mike.
here today.
I don't want to leave, Mike. I'm gonna
I
say
know.
it.
You were just making a joke about the "Don't Think Twice" poster on the wall. Do you have a personal story with it?
Dude, you can never understand. Well, I love this movie. I love
Okay, thank you.
your movie so much.
You don't have to, by the way.
And I do. I would be honest if I didn't. I really
Okay.
would tell you. If I was like, I would give notes. But I thought it was so wonderful. And you can't understand the havoc it wreaked on my college improv team.
I hear that a
I'm
lot.
dead serious.
I hear that a lot.
It was me and Chance and a couple of our other buddies that watched it. And it just like, I think it was the first time we reckoned with the idea that like, that making it is like a thing and it's going to happen or not happen and that means something in some way. It fucked us up.
No, it does. It does hit home with improvisers, particularly, and I find bands.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that same thing with bands.
Yeah.
Someone will break out from a band and be like a solo act. That's
Yeah.
huge.
There's so many things I love about it. I really could go on and on. I mean, Tammy Sager, I've been a fan of hers for so long.
Unbelievable.
I just think she's a genius. And getting to see her in it, but probably my favorite part that we talk about all the time. We actually rewatched it like a couple weeks ago. Chance and I and our friend Holmes, we got high on the couch and rewatched it. And my favorite part is when he goes, I felt it to be true that if I didn't get this, I was going to kill myself.
Yeah.
Oh, if you had to keep living like us. My favorite. I love
I have
that
to
movie.
give credit to Chris Gethard. Chris Gethard, that was stolen from a real conversation that he had in real life when one of his friends got the show.
So fucking funny, dude. That's so fucking funny.
There's something about that show, and you auditioned for the show a couple times.
Yeah.
Something about that show that feels like, and this is why I did it in the movie, it's like, that feels like the government of comedy.
Yeah.
Like, if there is an official comedy show, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
It's like the only place where comedians get to be next to legitimate power and stardom. Yeah. It's like you're next to the famous person of the week and this musician, you know, and it really drives people crazy. But there's so many killer moments in that movie. I love it as a whole piece, but just so many beautiful like moments that actually, when we watched it for the first time when we were, you know, teenagers, we didn't actually know yet how I've returned to moments of that movie in my head and been like, that is identically how that went. I've lived it now, and it was very funny to me.
Did you audition for SNL twice, and you've said like it was the best thing that ever happened to you not getting on the show in a way?
Yeah, it's funny because in the press cycle for the HBO special, especially, a lot of people have brought up the SNL stuff, and I'm very honest about being happy that I don't work there. But I don't have a grudge against the place. I just think a lot of the way they do things is really psycho, and everyone knows it. And now there's kind of this new era of like going back to pretending that it's not crazy there, and. Not getting it was, absolutely the two best things that didn't happen to me. But the first time I really, really wanted it.
Can you say more about like why? Because it seems obvious to me why it's better for you to have not gotten it. But like, what are you able to do now because you didn't get it?
Well, I think it really, it lit a fire under me to not get it the first time. I was really, Steve Higgins was like, you should be doing internet videos. And I wasn't at the time. And I was like, I don't want to do internet videos. And he was like, too bad. And I really did need to hear that. You know what I mean? I was like, thank you.
He like pulled you aside at the audition?
No, when we were, because it was during, the first time I did it, I was still living in Chicago at the time. And we like had to go and have drinks with them, like a round table of drinks.
So were you at like IO or Second City?
Yeah, I was at IO.
IO.
And they saw me on a showcase. And then they called me and had me come, and they'd have drinks with you in Chicago before they decide if they're going to fly you out.
Wow.
And Steve during the drinks was like kind of giving me the business. Like he was like, what do you do for a living? And I think at the time I had so many day jobs in Chicago, but I think I worked at an ad agency. And he was like, do you write copy? I was like, no, I try to just like write comedy. I don't really want to get into writing at work. And he was like, that's stupid. If you can get paid to write, do it. Like really just like kind of, and I was like, yes, sir. You know, I was very like, okay, this is kind of intense.
IO, for the listeners, if people don't know, was improv Olympic in Chicago. Copyright infringement, it's called IO.
Yeah.
That's the long story short. They can't use the word Olympic.
Yeah.
So you did that, and then while you were in Chicago, were you doing stand-up at the same time?
Kind of. I really like quickly into doing improv and stuff was like this. I need to do more. Like just doing the improv shows, I was like, I need to be doing solo stuff. I need to be writing. It doesn't feel like the improv thing really goes anywhere.
Sure.
And I like 3 months in, I started talking like this, and my friends were like, "You're annoying," and I was like, "Absolutely." I was like, "Absolutely, I know that."
Yeah.
But I started doing like mostly sketch and characters and stuff, and had done stand up in college, but kind of got away from it because the open mics were nightmares and the stand ups were assholes, and I didn't like the vibe of the room.
Yeah.
And then I eventually found a kind of hybrid thing where I was doing like, it was like me, Meg Stalter, Sarah Squirm, Grace Kuhlenschmidt, Holmes in Chicago. There were like these alt rooms where you could do like, it was all experimental, but it was like we were doing like PowerPoint comedy and like weird mixes of like character and stand up.
Yeah.
And then through that, I was like, oh, I actually can just do stand up in these rooms.
Yeah.
So I pivoted into just doing stand up again.
That's a great scene.
It was an awesome scene.
I didn't know all those people came up at the same time.
Yeah, we were all in Chicago around the same time. There's a bunch of, there's probably people I'm forgetting as well, but there were so many funny people in Chicago at that time doing like the Hideout and the Shithole and like a bunch of those alt rooms.
And then, so you moved up there, and then how did you end up making it to, we were talking before the podcast about you live in New York and Kansas City.
Yeah.
How did you make the leap to New York?
Well, I lived in Chicago for a while, and then I had told myself, like, it's so funny because end of 2019 is when I did that first SNL audition. I flew to New York and did the screen test, didn't get it. And then I guess that was like August or summer of 2019. And then I was like, I'm going to start doing videos, And in next year, I'm quitting my job no matter what and moving to LA. And then I started doing videos. It took a little bit, but it started going well. And then I quit my day job. I was working as an assistant at a ad agency at the time. I was like, I'm done. I got to go chase comedy.
Yeah.
And January of 2020, I quit my day job with benefits. And then COVID hit. And so I was like driving for Uber Eats during COVID. And then my lease was up. And I was like, I'm just going to move to LA anyway. So I moved to LA during COVID because I said I would. And then that actually turned out to be a really good choice. And then sometime during COVID, I got my first writing job over Zoom. And so then I lived in LA for a couple of years. And then my dad died in 2022. And I started going home a lot to do dead dad stuff. And then,
Yes.
as it's called, and
There's a checklist.
checklist, big one. Got to
went
do a
on
lot of shit.
You went on legal Zoom. When your dad dies, you'll need these 5 documents.
Basically, and the funniest thing to me was when they're like, you need 7 death certificates. I was like,
Yeah.
will a picture of the body work? Like he's dead, y'all. Like there's really
Yeah,
I'm not
that's it.
faking it. But I was doing all that stuff, and then I was really kind of falling back in love with home. And I'd been writing for TV long enough that I had a little bit of money saved. And I was like, I'm just gonna buy a house back at home and kind of go back and forth between LA. And then eventually I left LA and came to New York like a year ago.
So you've had like a wild 5 years.
It's been a weird one.
It's interesting because you talk about how you are happy in your
Yeah.
special.
Which I get a lot of feedback on. People are like, okay, and how and why?
Yeah, what's the feedback?
Yeah, people are very confused by that.
Because you also talk about suicidal ideation. So it's like,
Yeah.
how are those in concert with one another?
Well, one was going to win. You know?
yeah. One of them has ambition.
Yeah. It's one's going to have to win, and we'll see which one. I think like, I don't know. I'm just, if everything is, it's just all things are true. Everything is bad. I'm so scared. I don't understand why the world is so the way that it is. I think it's makes no sense to me that so many people are suffering when so many people have it so well. And that all does still weigh on me the way that it did when I wanted to kill myself. But there just gets to a point where you're like, okay, then either kill yourself or find a way to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
you just find a way to deal with it. You
Yeah,
know?
I get that.
Or you don't, and then it's the other thing.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that again?
Suicide.
Jesus.
We're supposed to say it hushed. We're not supposed to talk about it.
The one of the things I love about your special is that you force the audience to say "Hey, fat ass" or a variation on it.
Yeah.
So that you'll have a comeback.
Yeah.
One of your comebacks to it. People should watch the special. It's so funny. But I was thinking when I was watching it, when you toured that, you must have gotten some wild reads of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Because I've done crowd work stuff where you're like essentially like priming the audience to say something. It's like you see some wild variations.
yeah. You get like a version of, honestly, there's one of the, me and Michelle went to a socialist book event last night, and when they opened it up for the Q&A, there was immediately an old guy who jumped up and did a 3-minute monologue with no question. And he was like a little out of his mind, but in a way where it's like, he's our community, you know, but like, he was like, you know, the real estate investors and I'll tell you another thing too. And we're all kind of like, yes, sir. And that's what it's like opening it up to the audience at a stand-up
Yes.
club. It's like someone who's been drinking since noon. This is their one day out for the month. And if you give them a moment, that's your fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get some crazy ones.
Right.
And I love it.
What was it that someone had like a really good read of it? Like a bully read? Did you ever hit people where you're like, oh, this person was a bully?
Yeah, that's how I found the bit, actually. In that bit, I was hesitant about whether or not to put that bit in the special because crowd work in specials I often really hate, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I want to do that. It's also not their job to be funny, it's mine, and so I have real like dilemmas about it, and I ended up doing it because I really like how it ended up fitting in the whole hour, but part of how I found the joke was that I was like testing out an initial version of the joke that wasn't at all about me pushing back on the way they were saying it.
Yeah.
And then there was just like a couple times early on in that bit that someone was so excited to do it that I was like, you really wanted to call me fat. Like you really, like you were excited. That really hurts. Like you were, like you can see it in their eyes that you're like, this meant a lot to you to get to do this.
Yeah.
And that's very funny to me.
Totally. Well, it's interesting because your podcast is so kind of you, and your special is so you. That I feel like you probably get a lot of people, even on the street just now. Someone came up and was just talking talking to you as though they know you.
Yeah.
That must be like an odd byproduct of the type of comedy you do.
It is. I actually prefer it's all very new to me. And I have learned that I prefer when someone's just like, oh, hey, Kel, how's it going, man?
Right.
I prefer that to like setting apart, like straight, like, oh my God, you know,
Right.
which I'm not faulting anyone or making fun of anyone.
No, of
who's
course,
like that, 'cause
yeah.
I know that it can be like that, but I really prefer, I would love to be treated normally, and I would love to feel normal, and that it's a new thing that I'm kind of not sometimes, and so I like when someone's just like, hey, Caleb, how's it going? I think that's really nice.
I have to say, like, one time in Kansas City, I was playing there, and I know you love Kansas City.
I love
Do
this.
you wait? Give us a sell for
On Kansas
Kansas
City?
City. Yeah.
Well, you were probably about to. I think
No,
it's-
you can give a real one. 'Cause
My
you
real song in
live there.
Kansas City. Oh man, Kansas City. The people are nice. The streets are wide. The trees are tall. It's very green. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to live. It's right in the middle, so it's easy to, for people like us, it's
Yeah.
really easy to get everywhere. It's like an hour and a half flight from Chicago and Atlanta, 3 from LA, 3 from New York. We just got a brand new international airport, so it's making my life a lot easier.
Nice.
There's an incredible tenant union, like the strongest tenant union in the country, that's doing really, really good work protecting renters and working people in the city from a lot of the things that are ruining so many of our cities. It's a blue city, but it's not. You still feel like you're in the world, like it is
Yeah.
in the middle of a sea of red, and so you have to get along with everybody and figure things out. But I love it there, and I'm always talking about how great it is because I just think it's a wonderful place to live.
First time I ever went to Kansas City, I decided, okay, it's the home of barbecue.
Yeah.
Every day I'm going to eat a different,
Felt horrible.
different barbecue.
Felt so sick your whole trip.
I've never felt sicker. It felt like my blood stopped.
Yeah.
After 5 days, I went to Arthur's. I went to like all the different
Mm-hmm.
ones, and I looked up all the different ones. I literally felt like I think my body's gonna stop moving.
Yeah.
and
And it will.
Yeah,
And it
so,
will.
So now, like, I'll have the barbecue today, but I don't do two. I from then on, I don't do 2 days in a row.
No.
You've said that you don't respect straight guys as a rule.
Yeah.
What's the disrespectful thing that you think about me that you're not saying?
Oh God. Well, you're
Swing
doing
away.
straight still? Is
Yeah.
that still the truth? Okay. You never know. It's Mike, life is long and
that the
things are
truth still?
life is long and people change. I'm glad to hear it.
Straight, married 17 years.
Yeah. Congratulations. That really is beautiful.
Thanks.
That being said,
That being said,
I think you could have a gayer haircut.
okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
I think you could have a gayer haircut.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
When you say that, what do you mean?
Like just I think you could do
Like,
a little more.
When you're saying gayer, you mean more fashionable?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I could.
Yeah, that's all.
I mean, this hair says I've given up in 10 different ways.
I think it's working for you, but I think if you let me get my hands in there, I think we could do something really special.
You're in Devil Wears Prada too. What is your most Miranda Priestley-esque belief?
People need to work harder. Yeah, people need to work harder. And I don't mean everybody. A whole bunch of people are working quite hard.
Yes,
I mean
sure.
people in my life.
That's really funny.
I mean like creatives. Like mostly the creatives I meet in Brooklyn, they're like, "Oh my God, life is so hard. I'm doing so much." And I'm like, they tell me about their day and I go, "You're not.
Right.
You're not doing much. There's a lot of sitting around going on. I would
Yeah.
just work harder."
Well, I think it sounds like you probably got that from your mom because your mom had worked like 3 jobs when you were a kid.
Yeah.
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 I feel like I got it from my dad, like, because my dad's a doctor and like in his free time he gets a law degree, so he's like always working. I have the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, but it's a little bit of an illness too.
Totally. I don't think that hard work is virtuous. I think that if you want an interesting, fun, full life, working hard is a piece of it.
Yeah.
I don't think that you should be exclusively working hard. I don't think the hard work should come before joy or relaxation or family or friends necessarily all the time.
Yeah.
But I think just people should work a little harder because they're always talking about the things they want, but then the work often doesn't match up to it.
Yeah. The is there anything you from watching Meryl Streep perform on that movie that you learned?
You know, so when we did a big table read, before the movie, like, and everyone came in person and did a big table read, which was very cool. Because then you also get to meet everyone before,
Sure, yeah.
you know, you do the thing, and it can be intimidating. So I was excited to meet everybody, and I got to watch Meryl and Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt. Stan was on Zoom because he was in Italy or something, which tracks. But I got to watch them make choices about the character in the moment.
Yeah.
Like they, you know, Meryl would do a line of coke, and she would perform. Kidding, she would perform a line, and then she would like kind of just take a second and like redo it quickly in the way that you're like, that's how she's probably gonna do it in the movie.
Yeah.
And it was so fun to just watch her process, and to watch too that like. She's doing this in front of a bunch of people and making choices and then rethinking them and like actually doing the work of making the choice for the character in the moment in front of people.
Yeah.
And I think that's very humble and very cool.
Yeah.
Especially for someone who could phone it in. Meryl can phone it in if she wants.
Of course.
She's got it like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like totally decided. She's a legend.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I was watching that and I was really like, I actually could do so much better at that. And I could work. It just made me want to work harder. I was like, I can be more prepared. I can do better. I can, you know, if I catch myself phoning it in, I actually could do even better and work even harder and be more present, because that was very inspiring.
I think that's what part of like what improv teaches you in a way. I always think about improv as being like, to your point, there's no economic upside of improv. like everyone, like you and I both know some of the best improvisers in the world who are just out of work.
Yeah.
Because there's no, unless you figure out how to turn it into being an actor, being a writer, being a director, a producer, whatever, there's just no upside. I mean, you can't sell that as a product.
Yeah.
Or maybe 10 people can. Ben Schwartz can.
Ben Schwartz can and does.
Ben Schwartz
can and does.
Ben Schwartz and TJ and Dave, and I think the list is maybe 5 more people.
Might be the lot. Yeah, then those might be the ones.
But it is an interesting case of like it does. Do you feel like your improv helps you on a daily basis? Things like the table read or things like the other stuff you do. Like, how does it inform what you do?
Yeah, improv changed my life. Probably, honestly, saved my life. I think improv, like, very much, like, I'm a huge believer in improv. I think everyone should train in improv if they can, for even just for life. I think it makes you more present. I think it makes you a better conversationalist. I think it makes you enjoy. It's all about noticing and paying attention. And I think truly being happy is about noticing and paying attention. And there's so many things in life that can be boring if you let them be, but are exciting and wonderful and beautiful if you just pay attention to them.
Yeah.
And improv, it's I would be a horrible stand-up if I wasn't trained in improv. I would be a horrible writer if I wasn't trained in improv. I would be a worse friend. I really do think that improv, deciding to train in improv when I was in college and then after, is like the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
I really believe in it.
What does the blank page look like for you? Like, where do you start from when you're writing stand-up?
I never write it down.
Oh, you don't?
I never write it down.
You do bullet points?
Yeah, eventually. I almost always start from the stage, and what I'll do is I'll do like a show that isn't my own, that I didn't sell the tickets to.
Yeah.
And like be on someone's lineup or something, and I'll open with a joke that I'll usually open with something that I know works, that's older.
Yeah.
And then I'll do a bunch of new stuff. And then somewhere in the middle I'll do something that I know works.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of new stuff, and then I'll close with an old one.
Yeah.
And I just work it. That's how I went to a couple open mics when I started, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm gonna have to find a different way to do this.
Yeah.
Mics weren't for me.
Yeah.
So I hardly ever end up with a fully written down joke on paper.
Yeah.
The time I got the closest ever in my career so far was the HBO special.
Yeah.
And even then it was bullet points.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you have to give them a transcript?
I think my team sent them like a transcript of like a video of it.
Sure.
Or something, but I didn't sit down and write it out.
Do you ever have shows where people object to you, talking about certain topics?
Yeah.
Like, what does it feel? What is that like? What does it feel like?
Mostly my audience is pretty I don't get a lot of yelling out in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of hecklers.
You get a lot of emails?
I get DMs.
I get emails.
emails.
I get DMs. Yeah.
Yeah, I get
I think
stuff
we
like
might have
that.
a similar audience in that way.
Yeah, they're fuming
they're
quietly.
not rude people.
Yeah.
But they're like, I have some thoughts.
Yeah. I had a really interesting one actually. The whole time I have a huge chunk of the HBO special is talking about the Holocaust and this tour that I went
That's
on.
right. Yep.
And to me, the politics of it are so clear. It's the hardest thing I've ever cracked. And I did it at a show in DC. And I did a small co-headlining tour with a musician friend of mine just for shits and giggles.
Oh, wow.
It was so fun. And she did like 30 minutes of her latest album, and I did 30 minutes of stand-up. Then we had some drag queens. It was a blast.
So fun.
She and I both got barraged by this one woman after the DC show.
Okay.
It was like calling me anti-Semitic, that like, how dare I joke about.
Oh, really?
Yes, very upset.
Right.
And so,
because just to give context to people, you talk about going on a tour of a
Yes.
concentration camp.
Yes.
A couple of years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I almost never engage with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But she seemed so, I looked at her page and she like works for a nonprofit and she seemed very like someone I would get along with. So I accepted the DM request and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry you feel that way. I would love to talk more about it. Like, I think the politics are so clear, and what I'm after here is this, and what do you think about that? And what moment of it made you feel this way? Because I'm interested. And she was like, I don't dialogue with anti-Semites.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like, okay, well, I would love to again. I tried again. I was like, I would love to talk about what would make you say that and what would make you think that about this material. And who knows why I'm doing this. I guess I just found it was kind of jarring that someone who seems so rational based on what I was seeing, but other than this, like looking at their page and what they support and some of the things they posted.
I feel the same way.
And then she again was like, the fact that you even feel comfortable joking about that is a sign of blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, if you want a refund, let us know. We'd be happy to get your money back and like all the best. So something really happened there.
Right.
But it'll be stuff like, and that also was very sparing. I honestly don't get a lot of that, but that was the probably the one of the last 5 years that has stuck out to me.
That is something that I am similar about though. Like when I'm touring like a new hour, if I'm noticing there's like 5 emails about like a topic that I'm hitting, I'm like, I am similar to you, sort of curious, like, oh, how come this is a thing that's bumping people? Yeah.
And I generally think, look, if there's that many people upset about it, I'm doing a bad job.
Yeah.
Because the politics should be clear. I've built my credibility. I've spent enough time in the set telling you who I am that you should feel comfortable letting me walk a little bit.
Right.
Like, I'm thinking like, I know that this is sensitive material. I've worked really hard to be able to do this.
Yeah.
So when it doesn't go, that's one of it's literally one person in many, many thousands from that tour.
Yeah.
That I'm like, you gotta let it go. But it does confuse me because I'm like, I want to understand on a human level what's not connecting here between two rational people who mostly agree.
Completely.
And you just gotta let it go.
You were named the 6th most influential social media creator in the world. You outranked Mr. Beast, which resulted in Mr. Beast, and I saw this when it happened, tweeting about you in frustration. But then I just found out today he called you to apologize?
He did, yeah.
What did he say?
He tweeted the thing, and he tweeted like, oh,
like he only has 1 million followers or something.
Yeah,
like some kind of like.
He was like, this guy, they think that this guy with 1 million followers is more influential than me. What I do to piss off the Rolling Stones or whatever, and. Yeah, he DM'd me and was like, hey, could I call you? I want to apologize. And I was like, yeah, you really don't need to, but if you'd like to, no worries. Like, here's my number. And he called me and he was very apologetic. I thought it was really nice of him.
Yeah.
I was like, don't worry about it. I genuinely thought it was funny. I'm totally not bent out of shape about it. Just no worries. I also, for the record, agree with you. To me, it's very obvious that he's more influential than me. I'm not really interested in influence as like that's not what I'm after.
Right.
It's a byproduct of my job. But yeah, I was like, whatever, man. No worries. Like, we're good. And he was very like, yeah, I just think like sometimes the people around me get me spun up about this stuff. And I was like, you should probably get better people around you.
Oh, God.
And he was like, you're alarmingly nice. Like, why do you think that is? Like, I'd love to understand a little bit more about you. And we talked for a little bit about life.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
It was perfectly sweet. It was a perfectly sweet thing. I feel bad for the guy in many ways. I can't imagine, I struggle with like the level of attention that I get.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what life is like for him. I don't want it. And I'm like, God love you. That the whole thing seems stressful. I bet if I were in your position, I would also get spun out about things like that.
Yeah.
And so whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
I was just like, rock on. That's fine.
Yeah. You talked about how when you were crafting your special, you wanted take out stuff related to grieving your father because it was for the live audience only.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think you'll talk about that moving forward? Because it feels like it's so fertile for, like, I did a whole special about my dad's stroke. So it's like, I know, like, it seems like you could be hilarious in that space.
Yeah. I left in a good chunk of it. There was just some stuff that started to deal with my family's grieving that didn't really feel like it was mine to tell in a recording forever on HBO. There were a couple of years at the beginning of my stand-up career where I turned down every opportunity to tape stand-up, like the Comedy Central Presents and all that stuff, because I really had a pretty firm belief for a while that stand-up is meant to happen in the room.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to record it for me personally. And then I was like, but you love stand-up specials. You love so many people's recorded stand-up. And so my opinion changed on that. But there is still some stuff that I'm like, there are certain things that are for in the room and certain things that are for the taping.
Yeah.
Sans the crowd work piece I put in my special, all of my crowd work is for in the room. And I love crowd work. It's usually a decent part of the show. But yeah, I feel like there's some things, especially when it gets into like the very specific ways that my grandma was grieving, that were quite funny, but just aren't mine. I just felt like if I feel like I would need to call her and get her permission to put it in, then I just shouldn't do it.
No, totally.
You know? And that was just for me. I think I loved it in the room. I thought it was great material.
I know what you mean, though, about stand-up being an in-the-room art form. Like, there is something lost always when you see someone live and then you see the film special.
Don't you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel when you watch it? Because I'll tell you, this is my first stand-up special. And the first time I watched it, Mike, I was so sick. I was like, this feels like a flop. I was like, I hate this. It doesn't feel anything like it felt in the room. And filming it in general, the vibe of everyone knowing that they were there for a taping.
Yeah.
The special, I love the special. I'm so proud of the special. It does not feel the way it felt on the tour.
Right.
Something is lost.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could have done a better job for what it was at the time. And the team I got was so incredible. But I just think like, yeah, there's an extra spark missing, especially when you inherently in a special, you're limiting yourself from like, you're not going to come in and spend 10 minutes talking about the parking situation at the venue.
No, of course.
But in a live show, if the parking situation at the venue is crazy, you have to. No,
it's almost like as a viewer, you're putting yourself in the shoes of what it would be like if you were in the audience. Like, it's not even, it's like a twice removed experience in a certain way.
Yeah. It's like the shadow on the cave.
Yes.
It's not the person. It's not it being in the room with the candle.
That's right.
It's almost like you're imagining if you'd seen a show.
Yeah.
And I love the special, and it's a totally different thing and you have to appreciate it in a different way. And I couldn't have lucked out harder with everyone who worked on it. Like, I really think like I got to, success or flop, I really got to have my fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of it. But I really, really, really feel that if people like stand up, the best thing they can do is go see it in the room, because the taping will never be the same.
That's why I listen to specials more than I watch them. Because it's one degree of like, you can imagine you're there.
Yeah.
Versus watching every frame of it and just going like, oh, okay, I'm here and this is not as good as actually it would be.
Yeah. How did you feel the first time you watched one of your stand-up specials before it came out?
I find it to be devastating.
Thank God. Thank you for saying that.
I find it always to be devastating. No, it's awful.
Oh, thank God.
You bought a business suit when you were 15. I have a lot of questions about this.
Okay.
What did you think the plan was? Like, you literally in your special you say it, but I'm like, what else? What was step one? What was step two?
There was a legitimate need for the business suit in the sense that I was going to these student conferences. I was a student officer. I was a locally, then regionally, then state, then nationally elected officer in a family values organization.
Wow, really?
When I was in high school, yes.
Is that religious?
Well, it's that thing. It's that thing where like they can't say it, you know. But
why? Because it's like government sanctioned or something?
It's in the school. It's like a school organization. And so their thing is like, we love family, you know, but it's like only one kind, you know, it's very like specific. But it's
only one kind.
There were people of other faiths in it. It felt very Christian. But yeah, I was in that. And so I was running for office in that. I grew up very poor. And so I think anything I could do when I was a teenager to like distance myself from the idea that I was going to remain poor or be like the people where I'm from,
Sure.
which thank God I have worked on, because that's such a nasty idea. But the idea that I was going to remain poor and stay in my hometown, anything I could do to distance from that. So the suit was my like, I got a suit.
Yeah.
Guys who wear suits are like a pretty big deal.
Totally.
And I think that there's part of it probably on a subconscious level when I think back on it, that's like, I was fat, closeted, poor. Like, I wasn't like one of the thin, rich, hot kids.
Sure.
And so I'm like, what I can do...
From High School Musical?
From High School Musical. Yeah. Ever heard of them? The thin, rich, hot kids. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 in the cast. But yeah, I was like, what I can do is be really smart, and I can be really accomplished. And accomplishments were my like distancing tool from these other things
Right.
that were not good about me. And suit was part of that.
Look the part.
Suit was part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my mom was certainly like,
And you got it? You got the suit?
she got me the suit.
That's nice.
I mean, my mom is way cooler than me and always has been. And so I think that when I was in high school, she must have been like, it's tough that I'm raising a nerd, but I guess if he needs the suit.
Who are you jealous of?
You know, I've seen you ask people this.
Yeah.
And I've thought about it. I've actually, it's funny because it's been a while
Don't
since.
block me.
Block you?
Don't block me.
What do you mean?
You're talking about the question, but
No,
you're
I'm not.
answering.
No, I want to say it's the
Who are you
slow
jealous
round.
of? Okay.
I want to say
Fair.
that I've turned over people's answers on this, and I've thought about my own several times in the shower over the past couple weeks.
Okay.
And I didn't land on one definitively before I came in here, but I want to say I think it's really sweet when someone like, I think like Bob Odenkirk said, like people whose kids are still young.
Yeah.
How convenient, Bob. I love that. That's so sweet.
How convenient,
What
Bob.
a sweet,
It was so earnest, though.
perfect
It's
answer.
so earnest,
I
though.
know, but I'm like, I watched it and I was like, I love Bob. I'm a huge fan of his. I know him a little bit, and I'm like, I just am like, oh, I want to say something. I want to say something that feels not safe though. That feels so like, of course, that's a beautiful answer.
So who's the person you thought of but you didn't say?
Who I thought of that I was jealous, but I didn't say.
Yep.
It didn't immediately come to mind, and I'm trying to. That's what I want to.
Who was your don't think twice person? Like the first person to make it in your group, or was it you?
Unfortunately, it was me. I'm so sorry, it was me. But who am I jealous of? I'm not dodging it, and I want to get it. Who am I jealous of? I will say, in a blanket way, all of my musician friends, and I will say very specifically my friend Katie Crutchfield, who is a musician who performs as Waxahachie. She, I think, has such a wonderful grasp on creativity and having a huge career moment and making beautiful, wonderful, specific art, but also living such a wonderful private life and maintaining mystery. And
Yeah, I love her music. I don't know a thing about her.
she is I mean, I could really cry talking about her. She's one of my favorite people on the whole earth, and I really think she has so many things figured out. She's such a tremendous friend, and I'm often very jealous of her ability to step back from situations and see it kind of for what it is. Like it seems like she sees the cards laid out in a way that sometimes I'm so in it that I feel like I'm among the cards. And I'm jealous of. I'm just jealous she gets to go away and make albums and put out music, and I'm jealous of the whole thing.
I feel like I'm among the cards too.
You feel like you're in the cards?
Yeah, I like that analogy.
Do you know what I
among
mean?
the cards, and you're not standing back and looking at the cards. It's like, yeah, I know, I relate to that.
Yeah, I'm down there being shuffled around with them sometimes. But then sometimes you talk to a friend like that, and you're like, oh, they've really got it laid out. They can see where this goes and doesn't go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Who are you jealous of?
We'll cut it.
Will we?
I'm trying to think. You know, honestly, I used to be. I wrote that movie when I was very jealous of people,
Yeah.
and then that movie weirdly cured me of this jealousy.
Wow. Don't block me.
No,
Don't block me.
Just give, even though.
But right now,
You're talking about the question.
We can cut it if you really want to.
Mabel, I wish you wouldn't say that.
I'm jealous of people who have balanced energy.
Yeah, name one.
I don't know. I don't know who those people are.
Yeah.
But it's like I go through my day feeling out of control of my own energy,
Yeah.
and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'll be going along, doing something, and then all of a sudden, vroom, 0. I'm at 0 in
Yeah.
the tank out of 10. And then for a run, I'll be at 10 or whatever. And that's what you see on stage.
Yeah.
That's what when people come see me. And then afterwards, if they come up to me in the street, they're like, basically like, how come you're not at 10?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I put everything in my day.
It's crazy I got to 10.
Yeah, I crazy. I got into 10,
Yeah.
up to 10 on stage.
Yeah.
But I can't do it in life.
Yeah.
And so I think I can typically get myself to between 5 and 7 for most of the day, or 3 and 7 most of the day.
Yeah.
What drives me crazy is when I'm like stuck between 0 and 2.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm jealous of people who seemingly are able to fucking have stable energy all the time.
That's the secret, though, is everything is seemingly. Yeah, that's the thing. Everything is seemingly. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. No, you're right.
You know, you're a very, very, very good interviewer for a lot of reasons, but you've made it very hard for me to ask questions during this interview. You have. It's very, you do, this all has a cadence of, it was very, there have been multiple times that I've been like, I want to get a question into Mike because I'm curious. And then it's just almost impossible. Sounds like by design.
Thanks. Yeah, it is by design.
Yeah.
But that's a really nice compliment.
We'll cut it.
What do you daydream about?
Peace.
Same
fucking brother.
Same
Live in
brother.
God.
Same
Come
brother.
on.
Just daydreaming about peace all the time.
I daydream about
These two guys
fucking
daydreaming
living in
about
the
peace
mountains.
all day, every day.
like playing, like all my friends being free to drop by my little house in the mountains all the time.
Dude, you and me, we're gonna be a banjo duo in the mountains.
The
We're
way
gonna
I'll
be
never do it.
It's gonna be me, you, Waxahachie.
Yeah.
We'll invite the mountain goats.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, God, this sounds amazing.
Yeah, this is great.
Cooking fucking dinners.
Yeah, fucking.
You ever see like pictures of like a big long outdoor table under some trees in the autumn?
Yeah.
And you go, I need to sit there with 20 of my friends and eat dinner.
Of course.
I think about this
course.
every minute of every day.
What's something you believed 10 years ago that you don't believe now?
There's two things that come to mind. The first thing that comes to mind is probably just that I'm a person who's incapable of being truly happy.
Mm-hmm.
That was a belief that I had at that age in my life that I, thank God, disabused myself of. And I think that the issue that I was having at the time was that I viewed happy as a type of person and not a state of emotion. And I was like, oh, I'm not one of the happy people. And that's actually just not what that's not even how that is. That's not what that can be. That's not it's not a type of person.
Yeah.
Happy people are sometimes sad, and sad people are sometimes happy, and it's not a type of person. It's a thing that you feel. So that's one thing. And then the other thing that came to mind immediately that kind of made me giggle was just everyone who disagrees with me is bad.
Yes.
I really was in that.
Amen.
I really was in that.
Amen.
I was in that in a tough way. I was like a really antagonistic atheist. I was a really intense, like, if you don't vote like I do, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, I was really like, everything that everyone is kind of having cultural backlash about right now is based off of the way me and my friends were behaving.
It was you guys.
Yes.
It started with you guys.
Firmly a part of it.
How'd you get past that? Because I think that's fundamentally one of the most important things that we can do as fellow citizens to one another.
Yeah.
Because people, they do not walk in each other's shoes.
Yeah.
You cannot know what someone went through to arrive where they arrived.
Yeah.
You cannot know.
Yeah.
But it's like, how did you get there? Like, if someone's listening to this and they go, "Oh my God, that's what I'm like," what would maybe your advice for them?
I think that it was based in fear. That it was like, I'm so scared that I'm not going to be one of the good people, that I'm not going to be a good person, that I'm going to be, particularly as like a white guy from a small town in Missouri, I was so scared that I was not going to be one of the good people, and that any aberrance from perfection, especially politically, would make me. Part of it is an insecurity about where I'm from, but being from rural Missouri and needing to deal with my own misinformed feelings about what that means and what it means to be from a place like that, that I had a lot of ideas about, like, well, because I'm not comfortable being here as a gay person, that means that this place is ignorant and bad. And that's not true. There are plenty of very intelligent, lovely, warm, empathetic people that live where I'm from. But I needed to live a little bit of life and get away for a little bit to, I think, fully know that. But this fear... there is no such thing as a perfect person, and there's no such thing as like perfect politics. the best thing you can do is just genuinely worry about other people.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that, like everyone who doesn't agree with me identically, fuck you. A lot of that thing is fear that if you don't feel that way, that you're complicit in bad and evil. That if you're not punishing, it's really a desire for punishment. We love punishment as a society. And I still feel that creep into my life and from time to time in different ways, wanting to, withhold communication or warmth from a friend who hasn't texted me back quickly enough, or just the idea of punishment and wanting subconsciously even people to pay is a big thing for us culturally. We have a lot of cops inside of us.
Yeah.
And I think I would just tell someone, if you're someone who's in that, that's okay. It's a totally understandable way to feel in the world we're living in. But I do not think it's the correct way to feel. I think it's really counterproductive. It's likely not serving you, and it's certainly not serving other people.
Right.
And it actually doesn't make the lives of anybody having a hard time better for you to be an asshole.
Amen.
And I would just, I think that's probably it.
Well said. Well stated.
We do what we can.
Can you think of a time you were so scared that you ran away?
Physically?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, I want to throw up. Okay. This summer, my boyfriend and I had gone, I was filming a movie upstate, and I was so lonely and bored. I love everyone working on the film. They're all friends, but there are often days that I wasn't working that they were. And I was like, please come up here. And so we got a house for the weekend and had a pool, which I was so excited about because I wanted to swim. And we went out there and okay. And so we get to the house, put our bags down, immediately put on our swim trunks, and are like, let's go swim. I couldn't wait to swim. And I hadn't gotten a tattoo this summer, which I sometimes do, which ruins my swimming. It was like swim time. We go get in the pool, and I'm like standing in the deep end of the pool, and I feel something under my foot, and it feels like a stick. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I grab it with my toes and pull it up to my hand, and it's like a mossy, like gross stick. And I'm like, ew. And so I take the stick and I throw it out of the pool. And I feel another thing with my toes, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna be cleaning this thing out with my toes the whole time. So then I grab it, it's another mossy stick. So it's a second mossy stick. I've grabbed my toes, put it in my hand, thrown it. Feel a third thing with my toes. Like perfect, like 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beat. I feel it with my toes, and I'm like, oh, that's so much softer than the stick, but it's probably just like a dish rag or something.
It's a dish rag, of course.
And so I grab it with my toes and I bring it up to my hand, same as the stick, and then I pull my hand up out of the water, and it's a dead rat.
Oh, gross.
Sorry.
Oh my God. It's so gross.
In my hand.
That is no.
And I picked up a waterlogged dead
The rat was in your hand?
from my toe to my hand. And
oh my God.
and it was, by the way, my face is this close to the water, so the rat is right here. And I'm not exaggerating.
God.
It's like this.
Oh my God.
And it's so much softer than you can imagine because of all the water. And so I go, I throw it out of the pool. It hits the fence, slides down. And I turn to my boyfriend and I was like, I need to be alone for a while. I walk directly out of the pool and don't grab any of my stuff, go into the house, walk into the first shower I can find, hadn't even looked around the house yet, first shower I can find, strip out of my bathing suit, throw it in the sink, turn on the hot water in the sink and let it run, get in the shower and take the hottest, scratchiest, the whole time I'm dry heaving.
There's nothing you can do.
Hottest dry heaving shower, whole time, hot, steamy, burning my skin shower.
Sickening.
And then I get out and I just I wasn't the same the rest of the day. And I still
You'll never be the same again.
No.
You will never be clean from that event.
No.
There's nothing you can do. There's no amount of showers.
Thank you for saying this.
There's no amount of showers you can take that will take away what happened.
This is my fear, and I want to thank you for saying it. and that's so obviously hard to hear, and I know that you're right. And
I mean it out of love.
I know, and it hurts. It hurts to be loved by you sometimes in this moment.
Okay,
No.
rat in toes. Toe grabs, rat. Foot to hand, rat.
In face.
Close to face.
Close to face.
Close to face.
Close to face rat.
Oh my God.
Throw it. I sometimes when there's a moment of quiet, I start dry heaving before realizing that I'm remembering it.
That is so gross.
I'm not kidding when I tell it's not like I'm not doing an affect for you or doing this for the cameras. I want to tell you that I feel really sick right now.
I'm so sorry. You
remembering
okay?
this.
Do you need water?
No, in the way of like my tummy feels upside down. Like I can't believe that happened to me. I'm a good person.
Right. No, you didn't do anything wrong.
It sucked.
You didn't, Caleb.
sucked.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Woo! Rat in hand.
You know what? Here's a positive way of looking at it. You're a man of the earth.
And
rats are living on the earth.
that's a beautiful perspective that I won't access. And I want to thank you for bringing it to light. Oh, I hate it.
I believe that Caleb is a man of the earth. He's the kind of guy to grab a rat with his toes.
Spread the word.
Put the yeah, he doesn't care.
Yuck.
Puts the rats up to his face
He
sometimes.
moves the rat with his toes and then his hand.
No, it's part of our mountain existence together.
It can't be.
Maybe it's chapter 1 of our mountain story.
You're planting dead rats around the property for me to find.
It's you, me, some rats, Wachahachi.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, we're killing the name. Yeah.
Okay, here's some jokes.
Okay.
Do you have jokes? Do you have anything in your notebook? So sometimes we work out things that are in our notebook. Do you have anything that's like half-baked or a premise?
Let me see if I've got anything in here. What's in the notes?
You're such a joyous person to talk to.
Mike, why would you say that? That's so sweet. A stand-up. My stand-up note. This is my stand-up note.
Oh, nice.
I'm working through here.
That's
you know?
what I do.
It's just easier. I would love to be a notebook guy. It's way cuter, more aesthetic. I've been for a long time trying to figure out something with this. This really has disturbed me, and I don't know if I can find a joke here because I'm so enraged about it. I saw a guy in Chicago. We were there. We were playing the Chicago Theater. I watch a guy finish a vape, already humiliating.
Mm-hmm.
He finishes a vape in public, grown man in front of other people. Finishes a vape. I watch him. He goes, tosses it into a bed of tulips.
Awful.
There's a trash can no further than 3 feet
Ridiculous.
away. The gorgeous Chicago
Outrageous.
tulips that they plant.
Yeah.
Gorgeous bed of tulips. He tosses a empty vape into it. I really genuinely think if I killed him, I could get off. I think that the jury would side with me if they heard my story. I just think, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
There's no purpose in it.
Yeah.
And there's no joke there yet, but it's bothering me.
No, I think it's a great setup, and I think it's like a great topic to break open. I think it's like I think to make it a full piece, you'd have to think of like what you do.
Yeah.
That's analogous.
I'd love to find out. One thing I was thinking of too is like I'd love to think about what I could learn about him that would let me forgive him.
Oh, that's nice.
Like what could
that's nice.
What could he possibly tell me?
Right.
Like if I were to get him in an interrogation room and say, I'm either going to kill you or forgive you.
Right. Yes.
What could he tell me to
Right.
make that okay?
Right. Like if he was he was working at a soup kitchen that morning, 9 hours straight.
Yeah.
And he's like, the one thing I enjoy
Is throwing my vape in the tulips.
I like to have a vape. And then I like to find some area of beauty.
Yeah.
And get rid of that vape there.
Yeah. Or I was, it'd have to be like, oh yeah, you don't know this, Caleb, but those tulips are actually planted by the Pritzker family in order to monitor. I would need to know. Like there would
That's
need to be
a good
some
angle.
kind of anti-capitalist.
Yeah.
There would need to be some kind of thing that's like they actually have surveillance devices in those. It contributes
Sure.
to the panopticon.
That's strong.
Something would need to happen so crazy for me to let him off.
Right. Like one of the only ways it would make sense if this was the first scene in an action film.
Yeah.
And then he ducks behind a corner and you follow him.
Yeah.
And it's like the backstage of like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, exactly correct.
Yeah. No, I think that's interesting. Because there are certain pet peeves where when you see someone do something in public, and also it does beg the question, what are they doing in private?
Right.
That guy did the vape thing
Crazy.
in plain sight.
In front of me.
In front of you. In front of everybody.
A member of his beloved community, whether he knows it or not.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah. I think and also, I would say there's two directions I consider going. One is like, what do you do that's possibly someone could perceive you as
that
being
bad.
that guy?
Yeah.
What do you do that through a certain lens is that?
I wanted to be mad at him, but then I realized.
Like, yeah. And then the other one is just like, if you have three examples like that.
Yeah.
Like that's how I always think about things in my notebook is I go, that's what the cards are for. It's like, oh, this could go with this, could go with this, could go with this. But I think that's a great, it's such a vivid example of something that drives me nuts also.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
What else do you have? Do you have other?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let me think. Allow me to look. What else? I'm just looking at my most recent ones. Oh, I've been thinking about this a lot. Okay. I saw a video of like 8 girls dancing in the kitchen. It's like a TikTok. They're like dancing in the kitchen, the girls. They're singing along to a song together. And it's beautiful, really sweet.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I identified it as something that is so beautiful and so slice of life and the whole reason we're probably here. But then the caption was, how would you even explain this to a man? And I left it going like, well, men have listened to music. You know, like that just to me is like,
Oh my God.
it's like,
It's so funny.
it's this bizarre celebration of girlhood that I'm so on board with. And it's like, how would a boy get this? And it's like,
Right.
well, boys have hung out with their friends.
Right.
That's actually not the issue with boyhood.
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Right. It's actually quintessential relatable.
Yeah.
And you're saying, oh, no. This is the least relatable.
It might be, by the way, one of the only things men and women can both understand.
Yeah. Music, dancing,
Hanging out with your friends.
hanging out with your friends.
It's like the most universally relatable, cool thing to do.
Yeah. They're gatekeeping friendship.
And I just thought it was such a funny whiplash because I also often, when people say things like that on the internet, they're not talking about me.
Yes.
Actually, they're actually talking about
Me.
Yes, exactly.
They're saying you. They're thinking
Talking
about me.
you. Yeah. So I'm like, but I thought I read that and went,
I'm offended also, by the way.
oh yeah, we're both offended.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you got?
That's good. I love that one.
There's some new stuff. There's some stuff in here.
That's so funny.
We'll work on the new stuff.
I was when I was starting out in comedy, I was doing a show in West Virginia, and I was opening for this guy, and he goes, "You live in New York City?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Only time I ever went to New York City, all I saw was the inside of an abortion clinic," and and I said, "Well, you really got to spend a week there to get a feel for the town." You could swing by the Empire State Building and the holidays. They have the tree at Rockefeller Center. The abortion clinics are nice. That was one of your things already.
You got that? Yeah.
So that's that's a joke that like I've done a few times on stage, and like I kind of don't know what to do with it. You ever have jokes like that where you go like, "Oh, it's fun."
Yeah.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this guy opened for like at this kind of middle of nowhere kind of place, and
Yeah.
I just thought it was such a funny interaction.
It's very funny. It's also funny to think about it in terms of like asking him like, well, which one did you go to?
Right.
That one's a tourist trap. I'll write this down. I'll say a local one that we all
You got to
go
know
to.
the local spots.
Yeah. The idea that like he went to one of the kind of chuggy ones.
Right.
Yeah.
You went to TGI abortions. You gotta go. You gotta go to the local.
You got to go to Junior's Abortions in Sunset Park. Yeah. It's a family joint. Yeah. It made me think of I've been trying to find something with this. I saw a huge window cling on the back of a car recently. I don't remember where I was, somewhere in the middle of the country, and it just said "Abortion ends a life," and I was like, it's really hard to tell which side of the thing you're on.
Sure.
with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's just objectively,
That's right.
yeah, 100%. By the way, that just feels like a very middle.
Sometimes two.
Yeah. Hey. By the way.
Hey.
Not to be dark about it, but abortion ends a life to me was just like, ideally, yeah, that's the operation.
Yeah. That's what's happening.
Yeah, no one has a kid at the end of it. That is what's kind of the goal.
You're really holding your cards over there. Let's do Working Out for a Cause. Is there a nonprofit that you like to contribute to? And what we do is we contribute at the show, and then we link to them in our show notes.
Yes, I would love. We just did, actually, I do an annual benefit show for them. We just did it last week. The Tenant Union, KC Tenants.
Oh, great.
In Kansas City. Their work, it's a multi-generational, multiracial working class tenant union in Kansas City. Their whole goal is to secure truly safe, affordable housing for everybody.
Great.
And they're fighting gentrification and the out-of-town real estate investors that are trying to buy up our city and run everybody out by jacking up the prices, which helps no one but them. They're not even our neighbors. There's tenant unions all over the country. Mine, the one I'm most passionate about, is obviously KC Tenants. Incredible tenant work going on in New York as well for anyone who's listening. I truly was in such a hopeless place politically before I got involved with the tenant union, and it reignited my hope that we actually can get something done in this time, and I love it so much.
That's so great, Caleb.
Yeah.
I love it when people have genuine passion in the Working Out for a Cause section for what the organization can do, and it just sounds like a great organization linked to Kansas City, which I can't wait to visit again. and hopefully we can hang out there.
Come through. You can stay at my house anytime, Mike.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Come through.
I didn't mean to invite myself.
I would love for you to. I'm begging. I love when people come stay with me.
What will be the chapter 2 of our mountain story?
So it starts with the mouse.
Yep.
Or the rat.
The rat.
And then you come and stay at the house.
Rat in face,
Rat in
chapter
face.
1.
And then
stay at your house, chapter 2.
I'll do something to you at the house. Yeah, I'll do some sort of prank that scares you.
Oh, you got to cut my hair.
I would love to give you a
Chapter
haircut.
4,
I would
the
love to give you a
haircut.
haircut. I'll give you a haircut. I'm not good at it, but I think it'd be fun. You know what I would do? If you were like, let's go do it right now,
Yeah.
I would give a bunch more. It's got great texture. I'd give it more texture, and then I'd dye it.
What color?
I would do like a bleach blonde base, and then I would give you like leopard prints.
I don't... You know who'd love that? My daughter. My daughter's 10. She would love if I dyed my hair and did leopard prints.
I bet she's pretty cool.
Obviously, she's very cool.
Yeah, so I'm saying we might be onto something.
And so are you, Caleb.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Again, like you use the term like laugh quotient. It's like once you can start turning this into math in a way where you're like, okay, no, that's like a 5-level joke. That's a 7-level joke. That's a 10-level joke. And then be like, all your jokes need to be or approach 10s. You're
Yeah.
at 7 right now.
Yeah.
So cut down these words or like rethink that joke and start breaking it down and then put it all together like it's some type of Lego that I've just made. And now it's like this set's now so much better than it ever could be.
Yeah, it's the math of it.
Yeah.
In some ways is a trick. You're tricking yourself into doing artistic work that is hard.
Yeah.
It's actually harder than math homework.
Yeah, it's harder than math homework.
Like
but-
math homework's easy.
Yeah.
Math homework's a breeze compared to sitting down and being like, how do I feel about my dad?
Yeah.
Today we're here with Gary Simons, my friend, my coworker. You work on the podcast.
Yep.
And for the last roughly 9 months, my opening act during the Working It Out club shows.
Yeah. 9 months. That's crazy.
What was the first one?
The Columbus Theater in Rhode Island. And I was always curious about this. When you asked me to open for you, and then it was the night, like the first night where I was just going to do 5 minutes, I remember I was so stressed because I was like, it wasn't that I was like, oh, am I going to do poorly or anything? I was more so concerned that like, if it didn't go great, that you would like afterwards be like, hey, so how about we hold a beat on you opening? How about we hold on you opening for a second? Just for a while, you know? And I was like, oh, were you worried? Like that first one, were you like, oh.
I can't say hold a beat wasn't on deck in my brain.
Yeah.
It's definitely, of course, always when you work with someone new. Mm-hmm. I mean, I took a chance. I mean, I'm going to put this in context for people, how we met, all this stuff, which is like Gary and I, 22 years apart, won the funniest person on campus contest. I think for you, it was the funniest human.
Yeah.
For me, it was the funniest person at Georgetown University.
Yeah.
After you won that, you messaged me on Instagram. And hold on. I gotta explain this to people. You messaged me on Instagram, and said, "Hey, I want to meet you. Can we meet up? Could I possibly work for you? Could I, anything?"
Yeah.
I'm saying this to discourage people from messaging me on Instagram. Don't do it, even though it worked for Gary. And actually, one of our other producers on the show, Mabel Lewis, it actually worked for also. So 2 of the people who work on the podcast are people who cold emailed or cold messaged the company. In most cases, it doesn't work because we, as you know now, the amount of that we see in the office every day is absurd.
Yeah, I think about that and just like, what day did I hit you at? Not even that you would like ignore it, but that it's like there's so much going on that it honestly, like, I'm like, wow, that was just like pure luck on a lot of ends.
So we had this thought today, which was, we usually have seasoned comics, people have been doing it a long time, come on and we talk about craft. And I thought, well, Gary's been doing stand-up out of college for about a year or 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what if a new comic like Gary asks a seasoned comic like me just sort of anything that's on their mind? Mm-hmm. And like, what that would be maybe instructive, because I would say a vast majority of people listening to the show, a lot of them are creatives, and a lot of them who are comedians aren't comics who've been doing it 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
And, I've been at it at this point 23 years, whatever it is. So we thought maybe it would be helpful for you and I, who spend an extraordinary amount of time together.
Yeah.
And we're spending a ton of time together this fall, too, because we're going to do club shows together in the fall, like DC and Philadelphia and Buffalo.
Yeah.
And you're killing. You're doing great. Not only are you doing great, but even like the other day on Instagram, you posted a clip from when you opened for me in Madison.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
12 million views.
Yeah, that was intense. Yeah. Yeah.
But so that's what we're doing today. We're cracking open. Okay, what does a new comic ask to a comic who's been doing it for a long time?
Yeah, I'm curious. One of my first questions for you, trying to like get into the mind of like any comedian, like at any level, might be wondering, is that like you're Mike Birbiglia, you just graduated from Georgetown, you've been doing some stand up at the DC Improv, you come to New York and you start out as like a now New York comedian.
Yes.
What were some of when you first got here, like what were some of like the mistakes in comedy that you had made? What were some of the like things that you thought were like the best moves you could have made at that point?
I think in hindsight, the mistake I made was this kind of, I don't know, this kind of like, I put my foot in my mouth a lot with other comics.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes,
Like how so?
like there's just a handful of times where, like we talked about this on the Tom Papa episode, where you're just like asking people for so many favors, right?
Yeah.
And then you end up sometimes in these situations where you're not expressing enough appreciation for the favor that you're asking, and it just gets all really tangled up. The other side of that, we talk about that in the Tom Papa episode, is when you're starting out, you have to ask for favors.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. Like the whole thing is a conundrum. And then what did I do? What did I do right? I think is I said yes to everything. Like if there was a show on the Upper West Side where it was at a bar on a Monday night and there was 6 people in the audience, I would do it.
Yeah.
And I would give it my heart, and I wouldn't tell the audience that they stunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't get upset. I'm not going to come for you.
I'm not going to come for the audience because they're not giving me the response I want.
Yeah.
So that was good. And then also just like, honestly, just like relentless, just trying, failing, and attempting to. It's funny because I've been watching the US Open lately. The reason I'm obsessed with tennis is it's such a head game.
Yeah.
And I think stand-up comedy is such a head game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm feeling it early on, like that. It's like once you really start going like every day, just forcing yourself to go, whether you do well or don't, and just trying to make it objective. The stand-up thing, which can feel very subjective, is like, oh, people laugh, that joke works, but actually doing it so much that you're now looking at it like, okay, that joke gets this amount of a laugh, it's at this level. You're doing it so much that you can now look at it from a whole different perspective, which I only got from you telling me, like, I think the thing like you need to do, Gary, is like just get more stage time.
The doing it right, like what you do right versus what you do wrong. It's like the doing it right is, I think, tenacity.
Yeah.
And I've heard this is not my piece of advice, but I think it's a smart piece of advice. Don't be afraid to share with people what your dream is.
Yeah.
Because the odds of people rooting for your dream and helping you are higher than them plotting against you.
Yeah, it's like most people aren't actually rooting for your downfall, though it feels like that at times where you're like, oh, like that's why they didn't book me for that show, that's why they didn't reach out to me. It's like no one's actually thinking about you.
No one is.
No one's thinking about me. It's just like just tell people that you want what you want, and it's more likely people will give it.
Well, that's the thing. And the downside is actually negligible. The downside is you're embarrassed.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to be embarrassed when you're pursuing being a stand-up comedian, good luck to you.
Yeah.
In this profession, because I've been doing this 25 years. I feel embarrassed all the time. Like all the time.
Yeah.
I do gigs where it's like some college where like nobody quite knows who I am, or some corporate event where like literally no one knows who I am, and the audience doesn't really want to be there. And it's like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm up there doing my jokes that do really well on Broadway, and they're bombing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's embarrassing.
It's like, this works every other time. That's, yeah.
So the inflection point was, I said, hey, can you show me what your recent stand-up set is? And I watched it, and my note was, and this is what you were referencing earlier, my note was, oh yeah, you just need stage time.
Yeah.
Because your jokes are fundamentally funny. They're based on funny observations, which is at the core of what stand-up comedians are. We're just observers.
Yeah.
And your stage presence is like charming, and I like you, and it's loose.
Yeah.
And it was just one of these things where it's like, I'm watching your set and I'm just going like, oh, you could cut like 30% of the words in this. And if you did that, your laugh quotient would go up.
Yeah.
And you just need stage time to learn that for yourself.
Again, like you use the term like laugh quotient. It's like once you can start turning this into math in a way where you're like, okay, no, that's like a 5-level joke. That's a 7-level joke. That's a 10-level joke. And then be like, all your jokes need to be, or approach 10s. You're at 7 right now.
Yeah.
So cut down these words or like rethink that joke and start breaking it down and then put it all together. Like it's some type of Lego that I've just made. And now it's like, this set's now so much better than it ever could be.
Yeah, it's the math of it.
Yeah.
In some ways is a trick. You're tricking yourself into doing artistic work that is hard.
Yeah.
It's actually harder than math homework.
Yeah, it's harder than math homework.
Like
but-
math homework's easy.
Yeah.
Math homework's a breeze compared to sitting down and being like, how do I feel about my dad?
Yeah. How do I feel about my dad? And then you're writing down these things that hurt when you write them down. You're like, oh, that doesn't feel good. Like, am I a mama's boy? Like, and then breaking down, being like, okay, in what ways am I a mama's boy? Okay, well, I guess I have to call her all the time. Like all these embarrassing things that I'm not about to tell an audience. And then sometimes it doesn't work. Like I just told them like, yeah, I have to call my mom to know my allergies. And they didn't laugh.
Yeah, no, it's embarrassing because you essentially like Pete Holmes and I always talk about how the best comedy is telling secrets to an audience.
Yeah, yeah.
Telling secrets that you have to strangers. And when you tell a secret to the audience and they're like, we don't care, it's really embarrassing.
Yeah. Go on. What else?
Yeah, what else?
That's not really funny. That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
When they go aw, I do like when the audience makes some type of response because I'm learning. But when an audience member says aw to a thing that I did not feel bad about before, I then immediately feel like, oh, this isn't good. Like, this isn't a good thing. Like, people feel bad for me up here. Okay.
Welcome to my world. I'm still living that.
Yeah. You're just kind of like pointing to these things.
That's Pete Holmes calling.
Oh, wow.
I'll put him on speaker.
Yeah, let's put him.
Hey, Pete, I'm recording the podcast right now. I got you on speaker.
Old man in the pool, or like weird naked guy in the locker room.
You got to laugh from
Laugh.
you got to laugh from Gary.
Not even from you.
No, you got a big laugh from Gary Simons here, who's been opening for me on the tour.
Hi, Pete.
0 from you. Love Gary. 0 from you.
I was focused on the sound and making sure that the sound went into the microphone. I thought it was very funny. I really enjoyed it. I mean, this is a classic ears burning situation. I was talking about you 2 minutes ago on the podcast.
Well,
I literally said on the podcast 2 minutes ago, I go, Pete Holmes and I always talk about, because Gary's been opening for me, and we're talking about like questions from a new comedian to someone who's been doing it for a long time. Like, what are the questions you'd ask? And I said, Pete and I always talk about how you're telling secrets. In the best case scenario, you're telling secrets to the audience.
yeah.
And they're laughing.
You said it better than that. You said, if you're not telling secrets, who cares?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And then you also once said to me, you go, are we going to save our best stories for when we're dead? Is that?
Yeah, I think that's a fun one.
Cool? Yeah. No, we used to say that on Crashing all the time. If we're not telling secrets, who cares? And that, honestly, when I'm watching people and my eyes glaze over, I'm like, stand-ups, I mean, I'm like, well, they're not telling me a secret. I just want secrets. I just want secrets.
It's so funny you should say that, Pete. I'm secrets only now when I watch comics. That I've become.
Only two.
I'm a snob. I'm secrets only. When someone
Secrets only.
when someone tells me a secret on stage and I'm going, oh, this is the real dope. I'm like,
And by the way, it doesn't have to be I like farting in my car or something stupid. It doesn't have to be a personal secret. The secret can be a feeling. And one of the jobs of the comedian is to say, no, I'm a decent person. Like, I'm kind. I'm trying to be compassionate. I'm trying to be good. But also sometimes I'm on a plane and I'm like, I don't know why, but I hate the back of this guy's head. I fuck this guy's head. And that's a secret. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you have
I love it.
I love it. And then do you have, before I jump off, I'll call you later, but do you have any advice for Gary, who's a comic who just moved to New York 2 years ago and is a really funny stand-up comic and is just trying to sort of find his way?
Yeah, of course I do. I think it's funny that you and I talk about this so much. So the part of me is like, does Gary want to hear this? So I'm hesitant, but I'll just say it so I can get off and leave you be. The most challenging question is, when would you laugh? If you were in the audience, be honest, when would you laugh?
That's so smart.
It's like brutal. It's still.
When would you laugh is so smart.
Yeah.
When would you laugh?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I just feel like when you're coming up, attach yourself. You're a product of your environment, and you want to be a creature of a place, not just a thing, but a place. So like, watch your place, like your geography, and partner and sidle up to the people that are at your level that you admire, and also the people that are just half a click ahead of you, doing the rooms you'd like to be doing, have the career that you'd like to be having, but not huge ahead of you, just a little bit ahead of you, and just sort of copy them. We call that Burger Kinging, because Burger King only opens where McDonald's is already. Isn't that crazy? Burger King saved billions of dollars or millions of dollars doing no research on where to open because they just open where McDonald's is.
Dude.
So like,
have you done a bit about this?
No, it's just advice I give.
Wow. No, this is great. This is great. You should put that in your act.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I would put that in your act, yeah.
I don't know where it would fit. I love that you love it. Someday, Mikey, I want to perform for 300 views. You know what I'm saying? Because you love the most interesting, like you want it, and I'm so many bits and things, interesting thoughts get cut because I just want to mow it down. I want to mow it down. But with a Birbiglia crowd, I'm like, can chew gum, put my hand in my pocket, and just kind of talk from my heart.
All right, buddy. I love you.
I love you too. Bye-bye. Bye, Gary.
Thank you. Bye.
When John Mulaney and I spent a lot of years sort of traveling together and touring, talking comedy, and we always talked about how when you write a joke, if you imagine a laugh, there's no laugh.
Yeah, that's my issue. When I'm writing, I just it's all of it feels very funny, and then you try it on stage, and then you're like, oh, that one line was funny. That one thing is kind of humorous.
I really think you have to make yourself laugh. You have to get every joke to be something that is funny. It honestly is so funny that you're dying to tell somebody.
Yeah, and I think that secrets point is the thing that actually makes me laugh most, is like when I say something that feels kind of vulnerable, but I feel so, like it feels so true that it's almost like, it's like I actually don't mind sharing it because it's so true to me, it makes me laugh that I actually feel this way.
Yeah.
Or something is so, like I have a joke that I'm working on that's, my brother's getting married and I'm excited for him, I'm happy for him. But I'm also kind of worried because I've only ever been to one other wedding and those people got divorced. And then a few years ago, I found out they got remarried to each other and I wasn't invited. So I'm bad luck, right? So I'm bad luck. And that's great. Like, that makes me, like that part makes me laugh because it's like a very true feeling of like, why wasn't, like all I'm thinking about is why wasn't I invited? And they're still together now. Like, what? Well,
it's funny because like that actually speaks to the clip that went viral from your Instagram, which is that you're an overthinker.
Yeah.
Which is like, can you say your overthinker joke so people know what it is?
So basically, I'm an overthinker, which if you know someone who's an overthinker, don't tell us we're overthinking it. We know. And it's insulting to think that you would think that we haven't thought that we're overthinking it. Like, we don't need your underthinking thoughts.
Yeah, we don't need your underthinking thoughts. I love that joke. It's very economical. It's like one of my favorite one of your jokes because it establishes who you are, what your point of view is, and then interestingly, it helps jokes like the one you just told me, which is to say that you think you're bad luck for weddings or whatever. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I can't be, but it feels like that.
But because in the set list, if you put the overthinker joke before that, then the wedding story, which is a good story on its own, is a heightening of the premise that you're an overthinker. So in other words, like if you put overthinker in the front of your set, you're actually setting up for a lot more success in other jokes that you have that are true to you. And this, by the way, is what Neil Brennan said on this podcast before too, is Neil always has this great analogy, which is as comedians, our brains are the internet before the internet existed. They can't stop associating. And clicking to this and clicking to this and clicking to this and clicking to this. And our job as comedians is to slow that down, analyze it, write it down, take copious notes, look at the notes later and go, aha, there's the funny part. That's like our whole, it's oddly like our whole job is overthinking, which is probably drives people nuts, in your personal life. Gary. But as a comedian, I think it's not only a strength, but it's like oddly essential.
It's funny that you say that thing about it affecting people in my personal life. I have a girlfriend, and I mean, one trying to have this hustle of like becoming a stand-up comedian and also managing a relationship, managing a job can be a lot. And when you're in a relationship, like being the annoying person who's always like, when Jim Gaffigan said like being married to a comedian is like being married to a conspiracy theorist.
Yes.
I'm just curious, like, what advice do you have for a comedian who's in a relationship, and like how on one end to manage that and like one's own career, and also just like being a good like partner to that person?
Well, it's funny. Your shirt says "Be kind always." If you open that at the camera, "Be kind always." I think that's a good rule of thumb. I mean, it's like it's trying to, and of course, I'm not doing this probably as well as I should be, and I always have to think about this in relation to Jenny and Una and my friends and my family. Is like trying to put yourself in their shoes. Like what I try to do with jokes. Like I have jokes about having children and having a child and being married and all this stuff. I always try to see it from their perspective also to complicate and make more deep, really to deepen what the joke itself is, so that we're actually not just seeing Gary's point of view about his relationship. We're seeing Gary's and actually a taste of his girlfriend's perspective of him. And a little taste of what his parents feel about him when he talks about them and all that kind of stuff. And because I feel like it does more for making the jokes that you're telling a more real experience for the audience. Because life doesn't have a single perspective. It doesn't even have two. But if you have 5, 6 perspectives on the same thing, you start to have a deeper experience. I think you can start to have a deeper experience with the audience.
Okay. I do want to help out all of the other comedians who are listening, comedians listening to this. So can I blitz through some what I thought were general comedian questions? Okay. So one question is, how do you get an hour? Where do you go from I've just moved to New York to I now have an hour of stand-up that I'm doing around the city and the country? Like, how do you go from nothing to an hour?
I think the goal is, when you're starting out, to come up with, at first, 5 minutes that works anywhere. And when I say anywhere, I mean anywhere. It works at a bar mitzvah. It works at a birthday party. It works at a comedy club. You know what I mean? It works in an alternative room. It works at a mainstream room. It works in Kentucky. It works in Boston.
Yeah.
5 minutes where you know, no matter what, that's going to work.
Yeah.
And once you do that, I think you start to go, can I do that for 15? Can I do that for 25? Then it's, can I do it for 45? And then I think it's for an hour.
Okay.
And part of those time increments have to do with the conventions of stand-up comedy. So, for example, at a comedy club like the DC Improv, which is where I started out working the door, the MC does 15 minutes.
Okay.
The feature act does 25 to 30 minutes. And the headliner does 45 minutes to an hour. In my case, I do like 70 or 80.
Yeah.
And so I think thinking in relation to those being the stair steps are just, honestly, they're just convenient markers.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Next question is, how does someone get booked at a club?
This is impossible.
Yeah.
Truly impossible. I mean, and Pete Holmes and I talk about this all the time. The challenge at this moment in time for someone like you, you graduated from school in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I came up in comedy in the late 90s, I was at Georgetown like you. I was working the door at the Washington, D.C. Improv because I won the comedy competition, and one of the prizes was to open for someone at the D.C. Improv.
Yeah.
And I said, can I have a job working the door, or like performing? They said, none available.
Yeah.
But you can bring nachos to people's tables and make $7 an hour. I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
It allowed me to see a ton of comedians. Every once in a while, I'd fill in. But in the late 90s, if you look at the wider picture of stand-up comedy, the 90s was a bear market for stand-up comedy. And currently, we are in a bull market for stand-up comedy. So if the question is, what do you do if you want to get booked? I think part of it goes back to what Pete was saying, which is like aligning yourself with comedians who you think are funny. So if they have a show, they'll book you on their show. You can book them on your show, and you'll feel good about it because you're like, oh, they're funny, I'm funny. It's this mutually beneficial thing, and then honestly, it's like stage time. It's a majority of it is stage time, and that's why way back 6 months ago when you were like, what do you think I should do with my stand up as it is? I'm just like, you need stage time. And, it was lucky. It was a lucky thing. It just so happened I was doing some club dates and I was like, well, you could come out and do this. And I feel like your act has improved in the last 6 months, 50-60%.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like it's improved so much. And that stage time thing just, I can't like say it like more like stage time really, it's like you learn through doing. It's like you like come to New York when you can, like get there, get that experience of what it's like in New York, do as many shows you possibly can because you'll learn something new through going through it. Yeah. As much as like thinking about it. Like I'll have friends who say, oh, I kind of want to start stand-up comedy. I'm like, do it. Because you will learn something as soon as you do your first open mic. Like you will learn what it feels like to be up there, and then you'll learn what it feels like to do it over and over and over again if you just keep going.
I think it's a perfect time for me to say, at Gary from Connecticut is where you can be reached on Instagram. Message Gary if you are honestly anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I think Gary would entertain stand-up comedy offers from almost anywhere. I think if you said you're in Montana right now, I think Gary would say,
I would go. I would be there.
Maybe.
I mean, well,
you try to figure it out.
I'll figure it out. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll just say I'll be there.
But particularly New York, the tri-state area.
Yeah.
Let's go to another one.
When should someone get a manager or agent? How do you get a manager or agent?
Okay. I believe this is a fundamental mistake of young comics, writers, et cetera, starting out, is they're focused on agent, manager, et cetera, representatives.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is essentially your representative is someone who, and I don't have a manager, I have an agent. My stand-up agent is someone I've worked with, Mike Birbiglia, for 23 years, 22 years, something like that. In some ways, your agent is an extension of what it is you're doing and what level you're at. So in other words, if you were to get signed by an agent tomorrow, based on where you're at, think about what 10% of that is.
Yeah.
Well, you're not making that much money. Making $50 a show, $100 a show at the level you're at, whatever it is, even 200, 300. Let's say high end, 300, $30.
Yeah.
So like that's what the agent is making, $30.
Yeah.
And that's a big win
Yeah.
for you. You're like $300 is great.
Yeah.
That's chopping out part of my rent for the month.
Yeah.
Great.
Helping me out with some stuff.
Yeah. So I think you have to think in relation to a lot of times in this industry, people are like, I can't get an agent. I can't get a manager. It's like, well, you're worthless to an agent or manager right now.
Yeah.
Right now. I think that what happens is you need to be your own agent and manager early on in your career. You need to be, when I moved to New York, I had a phone book out. This is back when phone books existed.
Yeah.
And I was looking up comedy clubs across the country, and I would cold call them. I had a spreadsheet that had all the comedy clubs that were in America, and I would cold call them every day like I was a telemarketer, and I was my own agent. The other thing is like you start to get things. If things are going really well, you maybe get booked at Moon Tower Festival or Just for Laughs in Montreal. Like in my case, like I got booked at the New Faces at Just for Laughs, and that really changed everything because a lot of agents and managers became familiar with me.
Yeah.
And so then it becomes a conversation. I think one of the traps is that you get excited that an agent or manager wants to sign you. Cut to, they sign you, they do nothing.
Yeah.
The reason they're doing nothing could be any number of things. But one of them is there's no money in you for them.
True.
And there's nothing worse than being just in a relationship where the moment you're in it, you're like, I want to break up with this person.
Yeah. But I'm now legally obligated to stay with them for
Right.
at least a year. That's
Right.
crazy.
And then weirdly, like, and you know, I don't mean to be disparaging to agents and managers. Some people are great at it. Some people are terrible at it. That's just the nature of every job.
Yeah.
But the ones that are terrible at it are really terrible at it. And oddly, like, they don't want you to break up with them.
Yeah.
And so then you're in this weird situation where you're like, you're kind of invested with this person who you don't really even trust.
Yeah.
And you're just going, how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
So I would say don't be afraid to be your own agent for as long as
you
it takes. Yep.
Yeah, as long as you possibly can. Okay.
Yeah.
2 questions. What are good day jobs to have if you want to be a stand-up comedian?
This is a great question. Because I've seen it done many ways. So like Jessie Klein has been a guest on the show, one of my favorite comedy writers, favorite comedians. She had a day job at Comedy Central for years. She was a big executive.
Yeah.
She was like a major executive. And so that's a path. A path is staying in comedy and being super focused and then also writing comedy, etc. That's a path. Another path is staying so far away from comedy it's ridiculous. You know, working at a cafe.
Yeah.
You know, skipping work sometimes.
Yeah.
Getting fired.
Getting fired. Sometimes all it takes is to get fired.
Well, that's what I would do. That's what I did. I mean, truthfully, like I worked at the door of a comedy club, which was an example of like being adjacent to the business, witnessing a lot, which I always recommend, by the way. I always recommend young comics who want to learn, get a job. This same thing with theater or movies. You get a job in a movie theater. You get to watch all the movies.
Yeah.
You want to learn how to make movies? Watch 200 movies.
Yeah.
Same with theater. Be an usher.
Get in the room.
Get in the room. Stand-up comedy. Work the door. Watch a lot of comedians. When I started out, it was like I was watching George Lopez and Dave Chappelle and Brian Regan and Mitch Hedberg and Kathleen Madigan and Margaret Cho and all these people. And I'm going, oh, I'm learning everything. This is comedy college. So I think you can go either way. I think you can have a job where you go, I don't care about this job. I can get fired, get another job.
Yeah.
Or you can do what I was describing as like the Jessie Klein route, which is like be in the business.
Yeah. Which I think I did a mix of both, where I started in insurance, and
Yes.
then I now work like for the Working It Out podcast company.
Yeah.
So it's now that pivot there. And then the follow-up question. So the next question is when is it a good time to leave a day job for stand-up? When do you know?
They'll tell you.
They'll tell you.
Gary, I brought you here today on camera for a very special announcement. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate insane move.
That'd be insane to low-key fire someone on camera. To low-key be like, you don't have a job anymore.
You don't have a job.
You employ yourself. What?
Well, this question answers itself.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's like it comes down to when your artistic job is paying enough bills or close to enough bills that you can make a leap towards the next lily pad, so to speak.
Okay.
It's not cut and dry though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on you to figure out, and it's also risk based, right? So it's like you think about that your own time is valuable.
Yeah.
And in a certain way, when you're starting out in comedy, you're putting a value on your own time, and you're taking a risk that your time is worth as much as you think it's gonna be for someone else.
Yeah.
So in other words, like when I was starting out, it's like at a certain point, I took a risk. Okay, I'm not gonna do my day job. This is probably when I was 23, 24 years old. I'm not gonna do a day job for these 3 months. And I think I can cobble together enough stand-up comedy to make that work. And it worked, but also for a lot of people, it didn't work.
I guess this is a good follow-up. So you leave, you decide you're going to do 3 months. This 3 months, you're not going to have a job.
Yeah.
And see if you can make it work. Are there points where you want to give up? Like where you want to stop? Where you get close? Because you didn't. But did you get close at any point?
Right now, today, I want to give up. I feel like you never don't want to give up. Weirdly,
But
there's never not some part of you that thinks, "Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, this is nuts."
yeah.
What are jokes that you have in your act right now that we could talk out what a process could be for that joke, or that you feel like there could be growth there?
I have a thing about being like a mama's boy.
Yeah.
And then, and how like part of the issue of being a mama's boy is the fear that like one day I'll have to choose between like my mom and my girlfriend.
Yes.
And it's kind of like this fear of like, what if like my mom and my girlfriend were hanging off a cliff? Like,
Yes.
and the hard truth, knowing that I'm a mama's boy, Gary's about to say this on air. The hard truth is that I would probably, at this point in my life, I'd probably save my mom.
Right.
Because-
Sophie's choice between your mom and your girlfriend,
Yeah.
saving one or the other.
Yeah,
I'd probably save your mom.
Probably save my mom because like my mom knows my allergies and
Yeah.
and like it's like I know my allergies, but like my mom knows my allergies, like and and the part that I don't really laugh at is the part where I then continue and kind of give an example of which I call my mom. So I'll be like, "Oh, mom, can I eat like shrimp?" And she's like, "No, Gary, you're allergic to shellfish. You're allergic to shellfish."
So I've seen this joke a lot. That's part of the reason I'm not maybe laughing as much, because the surprise is not there. But my inclination, my pause, and I like the joke, but my pause when I hear the joke is the phrase "mama's boy." To me feels oddly like outdated. Like in other words, like when I was a kid, the phrase "mama's boy" was outdated.
Yeah.
And so maybe it came into common vernacular recently.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're pulling it from something that I just don't know that well. And in which case, I think it's worth extrapolating out to the audience. A, did someone call you a mama's boy? Is there a specific anecdote where you go like, one time, my brother, this person, my friend said to me, "You know what? You're a mama's boy." B, to use Ira Glass's note, he always says, "How did that make you feel?"
Yeah.
And then C, go into the stuff that you're saying about, I'm a mama's boy, and then your jokes about it. Because I feel like we're missing currently in the current version of the joke. I actually think we're missing the bridge to the mama's boy concept. Like I always think of jokes in terms of like you're flying people on a rocket ship to a planet, and the planet essentially is the joke.
Yeah.
And it's a universe of stuff and ideas. And once you get there, then you spend time pointing out what the vegetation looks like, pointing out the craters and making observations about what's there. But I think oddly, you're a little bit missing the rocket ship.
Yeah.
Like, in other words, I think your planet is there, but I don't think you have a transportation mode to get there.
I haven't gotten them there yet.
I'm just personally reacting to it in the way that I feel when I hear it. I'm kind of like, I'm laughing, but I'm a little bit going, yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
That you're a mama's boy. Like, I kind of know what that means, but I also kind of don't.
Yeah. And then as context for the audience, the joke continues into saying, I'm a mama's boy. Like, I love my mom in a normal way. Like, there are not normal ways you can love your mom.
That.
Like, there are not normal ways you can love your mom, and you can find those online.
Yeah.
But I love my mom in a normal way.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then I say, like, I'm a mama's boy. And that, like, I'm a mama's boy, and my dad will get upset that I'm a mama's boy. He'll say, like, Gary, like, you're always up under your mom. Like, how come you're not a daddy's boy? And I'm like, because that sounds like you're my pimp daddy.
Yeah. I love that joke. I have a caveat in my mind, which is, did that happen?
So, yeah.
Did your dad say it? And if he did say it, did he say those words? This is this thing I say all the time. Pete Holmes, my closest friends, people who've been doing this 20 years. I go, did that happen?
Yes.
If so, what was the exact phrasing? Because I think the exact phrasing might help.
Okay. Yes. Well, going through your exercise of did someone call me that? It's yes, my dad called me that. And then what did he say exactly? It was all wrapped up in a lot of things. Like, there'd be moments where he would just get frustrated at something I was doing. So if I was like, he'd be like, oh, Gary, you want to go fishing with me today? And I'd be like, no, like, I was actually going to like play with my action. I was going to play with my action figures and my toys. I had a whole day planned. And then he'd be like, oh man, like, Gary, like, how come you don't want to be outside? Like, I was always outside when I was your age. I was like, you couldn't keep me from being outside. I used to cry when they told me to come inside. And then all you want to be is inside. Like, you're just a mom, like, you're a mama's boy. Like, you always want to be up under your mom. You want to go with your mom to places.
I'm gonna stop you right there and say, if I were you, I would lead with that story.
Yeah.
Then when you get to the dad saying you're a mama's boy, as though it just occurred to you.
Yeah.
I want to talk about mama's boys for a second. Because I think maybe I am one, but joke that you've already written.
It's like,
and that's already working.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, can I talk about mom's boy for, like, I love my mom.
Yeah,
I think it, like,
exactly.
I love her in a normal way.
I think you're good there.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, for me, I completely find a way into your joke through the perspective of you and the perspective of your dad. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's an old school thing to say. Well, your dad's an older guy.
So maybe unpack more stuff with my dad, like the relationship with my dad, particularly that story of,
I love that.
And
I think that all of those ideas pivot one to the next, I think, really very cleanly. Craig Mazin said this thing, who's a guest on the show and created The Last of Us and wrote Chernobyl and many, many, many comedies. He said this thing to me when I was asking advice on a script recently where he goes, it's not about the characters, it's about the relationship between the characters.
Yeah.
What we're obsessed with is, how do these characters relate to one another? So the thing with your dad is not as much about your dad as a character or even you as a character. It's about, what is your relationship? What is the dynamic? When people see that and they go, oh my God, that's me. I think that the thing we should end on is working it out for a cause. Is there an organization that you think is doing a good job that you want us to contribute to, and then we'll link to them in the show notes?
Yeah. Connecticut Food Share. I'm from Connecticut, and so I think that they're a great cause.
Well, we're always supportive of food banks here. I give to a lot of food banks that in cities that I tour in, because I always feel like the way that they stretch a dollar is really impressive, and it's a very important issue right now. And so we're going to contribute to Connecticut Food Share. We're going to link to
ctfoodshare.org. And thanks, Gary. This is I think you're doing great.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. One, for the opportunity